it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. You know what? Scratch that. Bring this shit back. Bring this shit back from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker. He's a homer, but he's no simp son, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, he's smoking on that Patrick Mahomes back, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He wakes up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, not from Josh, not from Milton Williams, but from Jordan Davis. He rocks the Casbah and a cash bar. He's got 99 problems, but a world champion football team ain't one. Hack, how the hell is it going today?
Wow. What a freaking blowout.
Touche on that opening, Todd.
Wow.
Touche on that opening. We didn't know that was coming. We didn't know that was coming.
We smoked them.
No, straight smoked them. Pistol whipped them. Any which way you look at it. They didn't score until the third quarter.
They didn't score.
Over.
It was over.
They didn't cross the 50-yard line until the
Mahomes
third
had 69 feet of passing in the first half. I think somebody said 69 feet.
They had 23 total yards.
There's a 60. Yeah.
What a performance by the Eagles. It was a complete beatdown. That was maybe the best defensive performance of Vic Fangio's life, the game that he called. Just sending four, no blitzing. The front pressure that we were able to get on that Chiefs offensive line was absolutely amazing. I think it was critical to the Eagles' victory.
Yeah, I thought that they would have a tough time blocking us up front, but I definitely did not see that domination coming.
Dude, they were turnstiles, every single one of them.
They literally, the Eagles, they didn't even speed rush. They just bull rushed them right into their chest and pushed them right back into Mahomes. And you could see from the early part of the game, before we even started hitting Mahomes seemed a little bit off with some of his throws. And as the game was going on, I'm like, man, we gotta like score and put some points up now because Mahomes doesn't look right, and he's probably eventually going to get right. But then the hits started coming, and he just never got right.
No, he didn't. And
dude, his best he had two good passes. One was his very first pass of the game for a first down where they picked up 11 yards, and then the other one was Worthy over the like 50-yard bomb that he dropped it on Worthy.
The deep ball when the game was over in the fourth.
Yeah, it was against our backups.
The first touchdown he threw was pretty damn impressive too.
Yeah,
that one where he's sliding to his right,
and he's almost to the sideline. I mean,
yeah, that was a bullet.
It was too little, too late though. At that point, I mean, it was just absolute. Look, the Chiefs shut down Saquon Barkley, and it just didn't matter because
my boy, baby.
Yeah, we were able to beat him with the pass. I mean, it was just a tremendous performance from all facets of the game.
You could see that they set out to stop Saquon, and clearly, they did to about 2.3 yards a carry. But that's why you got other people on the team, and Jalen Hurts didn't have like the gaudy numbers. He was just super efficient. Like some big time third down throws, like on the sideline to Smitty, on the sideline to AJ.
Big third down runs.
Yeah, stuff like that. And it was, what was I going to say? It was just, and the defense, obviously we scored one time on the pick six, but the defense just kept putting us in good field position, whether it was the Bond pick, obviously at the 10-yard line, but then you punt them in, and dude, I know we went for the 1 4th down, but the other 4th down that you thought he might, when we were at like around like the 50-yard line, he said, nah, trust my defense, punt them in, and gave them another long field, and then they punted back.
Yeah, they were inside the 5 on that yard line, on inside the 5-yard line.
I don't know how many times, if ever, if we started inside like our own 30.
Right.
Or what, it was like from the 30 on or the 40 on. Other than that, like they.
We got to like the 29 on one off of one of their late scores when they kicked us. We got back to the 29.
Right after they score the kickoff, or whatever. But the whole first like 3 quarters, we had great field position the entire time, and that's probably why you don't see the gaudy numbers or whatever that hurts and stuff like could have maybe had, but they were just super efficient all day.
Gaudy numbers was 34-0 before they even scored.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been watching the Eagles pretty religiously probably since like 95, 96. This is easily the best Eagles team of my life. Hack, I mean, obviously, do you think this is the greatest Eagles team ever?
All around, absolutely yes. Our defense was unbelievably great, but in '91 we had the best defense in the league also. So,
Right.
But easily the best team that we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an incredible team. You really have to tip your cap to Howie Roseman for what he's done, building a team.
Every single thing he did turned to gold, except Huff.
Well, okay, Huff, you got one miss there, but I mean, like seriously, the whole setup of this roster is genius. I mean, and it's set up for a couple years to come as well because everybody's young.
So what is it? We got Milton Williams to worry about a contract. We got Nolan Smith to worry about a contract.
No.
Sweat, Bond.
Bond and Becton.
Bond, that's
are like
what I mean.
big.
And Becton, yeah. And Becton, he resurrected his career literally here.
Yeah.
We pulled him off the couch, didn't we, earlier this season?
Pretty much. I mean, pretty
he
much.
was an off-season acquisition, like Stoutland. That just speaks to the job that he does. I mean, putting him at guard.
I know.
And a 6'8" guard
Right.
at that.
Right.
And the funny thing is Stalin gave Sirianni credit. He's like, dude, Nick's actually the one that suggested to me that we try him out at guard. And I was like, okay, why not? And it just turned out to work flawlessly.
It really did. And the dude's just huge.
He's gigantic.
The whole entire O-line is enormous.
They said 330.
It was the tallest and heaviest offensive line to ever start in a Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw that stat when they put it up there, but
yeah,
it was averaging like 6'7", like 335, like, and
all of them can run like the wind. Get downfield, pull, everything, dude.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, it's crazy because everybody kind of said the same thing. I know we were all like pretty confident, and Oliver obviously being like the most.
I was not confident.
The most. But you thought they would win the game.
I told you guys last
Nah.
week. I was like, yeah.
But as
I
a
was
whole,
confident.
But then I was pretty confident too, and I thought it might have been like a 10 to 14 point game, but just like us and like all the national pundits, everybody was like, dude, it's Mahomes. Like the Eagles have the better team clearly, but it's Mahomes. And man, I did not expect him to look.
I don't know how they say that Vegas made so much damn money and the line never changed. If everybody was betting on Kansas City, how come that damn line never changed? Because Vegas knew it.
Well, I think the
Vegas
Sharps
knew that game that we were going to win it.
From what I heard, the Sharps with like their heavy money was on the Eagles, but the public money was on the Chiefs. So the line didn't move.
Like 80-20.
Right, the line didn't move because the money was allocated evenly, pretty much. The line moves when money goes one way or the other on the line, and it looked like the public was heavy on the Chiefs, believing in the Chiefs at -1.5, and the Sharps and big money was on the Eagles the other way. So Vegas still was profitable on the Super Bowl.
And I think it only went down to 1 for like a day or so, and then went back to 1.5. So it really didn't do anything, you know.
And then they cashed like 6 or 7 over $500,000 bets on the Eagles.
Yeah, there was a lot of big bets out on the Eagles.
Well, another dude had $1 million on them.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like the Sharps and the big whale bettors, the people that like can kind of move lines out there. And
I made $120.
There you go.
Yeah, I made like 430.
Oh wow! Did you pull the trigger on the big bet?
Not too big.
All right, good. Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
Like Hurts MVP and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, like, dude, I knew we were going to win this game, but I didn't know. I mean, obviously, I can't say I pictured that coming, especially like from our defensive line dominating like that. Like, I knew our defense is good, but I didn't see her just rushing forward the whole time and just getting after Mahomes like that.
Yeah, that pressure was just absolutely incredible, and I think it starts.
Dude, coming out of the second half, I'm so worried about. I'm like, the last thing we need is a 25-minute halftime right here. We come out and sack, like,
I
right
know.
away.
I was still a little
I was
nervous
like,
at half.
yes, we're good then.
Right?
I got goosebumps now, right?
I was still a little nervous at halftime because I just
not after the first series.
not after the first series. I'm right there with you, Hack, because that was just like, okay, no, we still have our foot on the gas here. We are not letting them up, and there was just nothing they could do. It was too big of a lead to come back from.
After that Devontae touchdown, it's like.
That
The
was
dagger.
beautiful.
That's my favorite Eagles play I've ever seen. It's my favorite Eagles play.
beautiful thing,
I don't
man.
know, the Cooper Sharp DeJean pick six is.
I want pizza for me because that's just like the fuck you.
It really was.
We're just gonna rip your fucking heart out right here.
And if you watch the mic'd up Tosh,
Yeah,
I know you
34,
didn't watch it, but they were talking about it right before that, and like Nick's like talking to Kellen, and he's like, if we score right here, game's over. Just call it. And then they call that play to Devontae. He scores a touch. Like, you got to watch the mic'd up. The mic'd up's so
was
sick.
great.
I gotta watch it. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to yet. I'll catch
Saquon
it.
is
Smoke a couple bowls.
Yeah, I'll have to catch it. I'll be
Dude,
sure to watch it.
the team is just so calm and even keeled. Like, even when they go up like 24-0, everybody, like, especially Saquon's
Holding
such,
everybody together.
such a
From the
calming
team. Saquon's
force.
gonna be a captain next year.
Yeah, like they're all just like, yo, stay here. Job's not done. Like, it was, dude, it was so
But I
good.
remember they've been saying that like the only voice that a lot of times that you heard in the huddle was like if somebody's saying something, it would be AJ Brown. And I remember AJ Brown saying it was nice to have another voice in the huddle earlier this season.
That's interesting. Yeah, because Hurts he seems like a little reserved kind of guy. That's his style, and everybody's different, right? He's not like a rah guy. He's like cool. He's Joe Cool always, and he probably is like the same demeanor most of the time, which is great. I mean, I would much rather have that sometimes compared to some of the other quarterbacks.
Saquon is more of like the energy, like, all right, guys, let's go. Next play. Like,
And the common force, like after they called the PI on AJ on that first fourth down, Saquon's like, yo, we're good.
Yeah,
Like,
running around
we're good.
everybody. Stay here. Stay right here.
I was really worried after that call because I was like, that was a horseshit call. And then my dad texted me. My dad's like, watch for the makeup call. And then, of course, we get the makeup call a couple series later where, maybe we probably...
I actually called it live. I was like, yo, hit to the head. And I was like...
he did call it.
And then, like, the flag came out, and I was like, oh, they actually called it. It didn't... It looked worse live than on the replay.
Way worse live.
Yeah, because I saw his
In
head
real time.
snap back, and then they showed the replay, and I was like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. That's probably not a great call, but...
Dallas sold it well.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. Look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We just completely dominated
And
that
Tosh,
game.
you were down in the city.
Yes, we got to celebrate down in the city, down there on Broad Street. It was a wild night on Sunday, just absolutely crazy. The fans were great, man. Everybody was out in the streets, and
I was there for the last Super Bowl down in the city, and yeah, I can imagine.
saw a lot of mayhem, a lot of fun destruction, but happy stuff. People climbing poles. People weren't doing stupid stuff for the most part. There was somebody jacked a linen truck out front of the hotel we were
Yeah, and the
staying
kids
at.
were burning.
And the kids were burning.
Was that right there?
It was right in front of the hotel I was staying at. We were staying down at the Lowe's, and man, it was just a wildfire.
And you saw the Commander's takeover spot.
We did. I made sure we were right
sure
there.
the Hard Rock was
right
good.
there. Listen, you cannot. The Hard Rock Cafe. Don't ever come to my city and try to take over the Hard Rock Cafe. That is
Staple of the
that is-
Philadelphia
that's
city.
right. If you ever come to Philadelphia, don't you dare disrespect the Hard Rock Cafe. All right.
Double nickel on your ass.
Yeah, we'll put 50 spot on you. All right, don't ever disrespect the Hard Rock Cafe. What a tremendous night, though. Seriously, it was just all love in the streets and
Parade tomorrow. Meeting Friday.
Yes, sir.
Parade tomorrow for you guys. You guys got to like.
You loser.
Yeah, Hack's traveling. He can't
I
make
know. I got it because all right, here we go about this goddamn parade. So it was supposed to be, it would have been Wednesday, but the snow came. They did not want that parade on Valentine's Day. That just
No.
kills the money in the city with all the restaurants and stuff like that.
Right, you could double dip then.
And I like to go in, even though I'm not working till Saturday. I don't like to have to get up at like 5 a.m. here and then I'm flying to Tennessee, and then at 1 o'clock do a signing, 5 o'clock for the show. That's too long. That's just too hard for me at this advanced stage that I'm in my life.
Yeah, parade on Valentine's Day. A lot of men are going to be put in a bind.
Or they're going to be getting dragged out after the parade.
I saw a lot of
They'll
them.
be passed out drunk and be like, honey, we missed our reservation.
I saw a lot of them at Produce Junction buying flowers.
Could end a couple of relationships.
You mean to tell me the Eagles are more important than me? Well, honey, you want me to be honest with you? Or
Listen, if your woman is not able to understand the importance of a parade, maybe she ain't the one for you. That's all I'm going to
Hey,
say.
the Eagles been with me my whole life. I've been with you 6 months.
Yeah, priorities, baby.
Listen.
Come on. Man, just what a wonderful time, man, to be in this
So
area.
right here, I got a backpack together.
Yeah, this mischievous backpack.
I put a
that he
little
brought in.
backpack together for these two to take to the parade with them tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right.
We got
So, absolutely the first thing you're going to need is a box of Band-Aids because somebody's getting busted up tomorrow somehow, somewhere.
Okay. He's got some Band-Aids.
Second of all, you got to have your 21-ounce piss cup in case you're in a big, like if you're by the art museum and everybody's there, you just piss it and put it on the street. Gotta have that.
All right,
Bunch of
Hack.
people stepping in your piss. Here we go.
And who cares?
Dude,
Would you rather have me piss on your leg?
You're right.
All right, and then next, since we took a shot of it at before the game, took a shot.
What do you got there?
Significant brown
That's what I was drinking on Sunday night, too. We get a whole bottle of it. That's what I was
Dude,
drinking,
I
too,
bought it at the
swear.
liquor store specifically for this game, and we all took a shot of it before, all took a shot of it at halftime, and all took a...
So
That's crazy.
I was so drunk on Sunday that my buddy, he put the empty bottle of Crown in my hoodie of my jacket, and I didn't even notice, and I walked and it fell out. That's how pissed drunk I was. I didn't even notice it was in my hood.
All right, and last but not least, now, if you get close enough to them, I got a football here
And a Sharpie?
with a taped Sharpie to it.
Hell yes.
Because I seen dudes do this the last parade. They would tape the Sharpie to the ball, throw it to the player would sign it, and throw it right back to him.
That's beautiful.
So if you get freaking like Hurts,
Cooper the G!
yeah, no, dude, you get Hurts, you throw this to Hurts, Hurts throws it back. You can say you caught a pass from Hurts the rest of your life.
From Super Bowl MVP.
And of course, I got extra tape and another extra silver marker.
Wow, what a care package for the
We will
parade there.
get this. We will get the Hack Care package out on the Instagram page for everyone to see.
Anything else in the backpack? Hack of the Explorer?
I might have forgot something.
Okay.
No,
Backpack.
right.
I also went to the dollar store and picked up some of these we can throw to the players. Some heart chocolates for Valentine's Day.
They're wise.
Yeah, you know, just you never know. So we could throw some of them out there to them. Maybe they'll be hungry on the route. You know, you'd be drinking, get a little chocolates, and I got a nice bucket of Fireball shots that maybe we can tape to the heart and throw to the players and maybe chug a little something. So.
Yeah, all right, ties right on it with me.
There you go. Wow. Man, just an absolutely
With
incredible
Florence
time.
Nightingale
Dude,
over
the
there.
football's the thing, though, dude. If you it was so easy. I think I was at Tasker and Broad Street, and because that's only a couple off of where it starts in Oregon. So it's not real. It wasn't real heavy at all there at
Right.
all. So you could have easily tossed them a ball like 10 different guys.
I can't get too drunk to where I overthrow it.
I know you overthrow it. We're done. We ain't getting it back.
I'll throw it.
We ain't getting it back if you overthrow it.
Do you guys know where you're going to be trying to post up at or anything?
So my buddy lives like 5 blocks off of Broad, like in between like 19th and like Passyunk or whatever. So
And what street? What street that crosses Broad?
I'm not
Yeah, I know you're
I'm not
right.
100% off the top of my head, but so we're gonna be in South Philly pretty early in the route.
You guys have a great chance to get a Hurt signature on that ball.
Yeah, pretty early in the route, so should be a good time.
Yeah, get down there early, very early. That's my only advice, man. You want to set up shop
Dude,
early.
we last 7 years ago, me, Ty, Michelle, and what's his name?
CJ, our
Yeah,
youngest
CJ.
brother.
Yeah.
My other son.
I know the Farm Boy's what he calls Oliver's oldest kid. I don't know. I get confused with all that shit.
Yeah, my one buddy.
Yeah, but we were right downtown. We were like 4th and Market or something.
Well, we actually got an Airbnb the night, like just to stay in the night before, go down there. We got up at like, I don't know, like 4:35 in the morning, and fucking, me and my buddy walked to Center City. Hack stayed at like Broad and
I
Tasker
went
or
towards
whatever.
the arena because I didn't want to because I had CJ with me. He was 7 years old then, you know, so.
Yeah.
And I stayed up at Temple, and then I just met with Ty up at the...
Yeah, I was down near the like the stages and shit.
So let's see if they come up with more than 4,000 people that are there freaking this year.
Yeah, right.
I think it's going to be a great turnout because it's a Friday. I mean, I think a lot of people are saying screw work.
That definitely helps.
That totally helps, man, because then people can do a little recovery day on Saturday, enjoy themselves, and
it's going to be electric.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just the women are bumming. Like the women that are football fans, they're like, "Oh, you got freaking kidding me?"
Yeah, but you can also
waiting for
do
this
like
all year.
you could do a Saturday. You could do
Yeah, you can move it.
You can,
Yeah, but
right.
suppose you got a freaking a restaurant freaking thing at one of the like nicest restaurants down in Philly for like 8 o'clock. You're like, "Hon, we're beat."
It's going to be tough for those
Parade,
people, but
nap, then go back out.
yeah, I think that'd be the game plan there, man. But just what a wonderful time! It's really going to make the winter go by a lot quicker here in the city, and I'm just so happy this team and Ollie. You believed in them all year, man. I mean,
Sure did.
you really did. We joke and call you the homer, but
Believe in my quarterback, baby.
I believe in Jalen too, man. I mean, and you know what? In Jalen's performance, he's really.
I mean, defense was really the star of the game.
It was,
to be
but
honest, but Jalen did everything necessary to win.
he did.
Fangio for MVP, but you can't give it to a coach. So
No, and Jalen.
Players would have.
He's solidified himself as a real leader, and he was so motivated for this game, for this revenge. And I think oftentimes in sports, it's whoever has that on their side of that want for more, that outweighed the Chiefs wanting that third in a row. And it's just so hard to win 3 in a row. I mean, no one's ever done it for a reason. It's not easy to even get back there 2 times or 3 times.
no, and when you watch some like up top shit, like Jalen, kind like you hear Jalen a little bit talk, like he kind of opens up a little, like it's a little bit more than what we see, you know, like
Yeah,
when it hit,
and
like,
when he said, well, the last one really, what did he say about it?
he was like,
hurt
it crushed my soul.
Oh yeah,
He was like, last time against these guys, it crushed my soul. He's sitting on the bench talking to somebody because they were like, yo, you gonna smile yet? He's like, not till it hits zeros, dog.
not till a fat lady sings. They
Yeah.
still use that expression. I can't believe it.
Well, that's what I loved about, like, when I said it, that during, like, I think it was, like, training camp or something, there was a picture that came out of his phone lock screen. And, like, little stupid things like that were just motivating for him, of being around the Chiefs when they won it 2 years ago and just watching the confetti fall.
You saw Worthy do that. Worthy was the last Casey guy out there on the bench just sitting there watching shit.
Well, that makes sense. He was a rookie, so he's not,
Right.
he's never experienced the winning.
Right.
He's hurt the
He
way
wanted
that
to
no
say
one
it.
else in that locker room probably is hurt.
Dude, Pacheco had never lost a playoff game.
Yeah.
You know, like he was like 9-0 or 8-0, whatever the hell it was before that. Like those dudes were on a tear, and
Yeah, he was 9-0.
yeah, whatever it was. And it's
All with Patrick.
I want to
right?
thank all the fans for coming along the ride with us and following and joining the Bird Gang, especially who's the guy in Boston that's always talking shit.
Oh, Johnny? Is it Johnny from Boston?
Yeah,
Or-
I
I forget.
think so, but,
Skinny.
yeah.
Skinny had the great email. And then we got to say, 2 middle fingers for that loser, Kevin from Dayton, Ohio.
Fuck off, Kevin.
What are you
Fuck
gonna
off, Kevin.
What are you gonna say now, Kev?
Oh, we didn't. You know what?
Kevin's saying his Cleveland basketball team is going to do some damage this year.
There you
Yeah,
go.
maybe the Cleveland Steamers.
You know what? It's a coincidence. We didn't get an email
Well,
in our
they're the best
inbox.
team. They're the best team in the.
The Thunder, I think, have the best record in the NBA. But they
It's
got
one of the two.
They got to be right up there with them.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we're getting to some wrestling here on the
Well,
Sandman
that's all we
podcast.
have for today.
Yeah, we're going, guys. We'll see. Catch you next week on the
We're
show.
going to go watch a replay for the 4th time.
No, we do have a show topic this week. We reviewed and watched ECW Big Apple Blizzard Bash. This was another show from the Lost Battalion Hall in New York City. It was after the original show that you guys had in 95. This was the next one that you guys ran in New York. And I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a pretty damn good show. It's certainly interesting in some areas, especially some of the angles, which we'll get to. But the show opened up with Paul Heyman. And he said that there was a camera crew from Current Affair there, and the crowd was giving it to him. Hack, I guess, and maybe for some of our younger listeners, Current Affair. It was a magazine news show that was on syndicated
It was
television.
TMZ, the first TMZ kind of, right?
Yeah, it was around that. It was kind of like Inside Edition,
Yeah.
Entertainment Tonight, but it was a level of exposure exposure that ECW previously never had before. Do you remember anything about the camera crew for
I remember being there. That's it.
Were you guys like hyped about it? Were you like, oh, or was it?
I didn't care.
It was another day at work for you. It just didn't. Yeah, I didn't see any difference in the show. Like, I didn't know if like Paulie gave any like rules out, like don't do this or don't do that.
Yeah, if anything, he's pushing the button right here too, so he's liking that.
Well, it seemed like your regular ECW show. Like, I didn't see any.
Yeah.
It wasn't any difference. But pretty interesting there. The show itself opened up with Taz and Bill Alfonso taking on the Shark Attack Kid.
I know, I was like, who?
At first, I thought this was for LaFont. You remember? I thought he was Doug Furnace at first, just with long hair. Not Doug Furnace, another guy, Canadian dude. I don't know. I'll think of his name.
I mean, he kind of had a little like Dynamite Kid look to him.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
Yeah.
thought it was the Dynamite Kid.
Just with long hair.
He was also known as the Dirt Bike Kid, and he got into a famous shoot with the great Sasuke at one point in Japan, where Sasuke was shooting on him, but didn't really do a whole lot in the business. And this was just your typical Taz squash match. Taz did a bunch of suplexes to him, and almost had him tapping out with a cross arm breaker. And then he was throwing around some suplexes. He had the top rope belly to belly Taz superplex, and then a Taz mission finished it real quick. How long was this one, Ollie? This wasn't that long.
3 minutes 55 seconds.
Yeah,
Thank God.
it was nothing much. It was a cool Taz squash. He was in great shape here. I love Fonzie's antics always as like the manager for him, especially when he like came in the ring as the ref at the end. But this is not really anything to rate. It was just a fun Taz squash. I don't know. Do you guys have a star for this or anything?
No.
No, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to. It actually probably went a little bit too long for it in order to be a squash match.
I thought it was. Yeah, that's a good point, Ty.
I mean, for non-competitive,
Squash him. Don't give him a couple spots.
he gave him like a drop kick. I don't think he gave him much else. He just like ate him up the whole time. And
Right. It was like almost like too much squashing. Like, you're better off just having Taz beat him
He
and
looked better
fucking.
if you beat him with one.
Yeah, right. So like,
the more interesting part about this was Taz calling out 911 afterwards, and then out comes Todd Gordon. And then he said that 911 wasn't there, and then Fonzie and him start to brawl. Fonzie knocks him down, and then Gordon fired back with just the funniest clothesline I've ever seen. It was just great. And then I love when he dived down on the ground for his like hammer fist punch on Fonzie.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Todd wanted to be a pro wrestler so bad. The first punch that he took, you'll notice, he goes out and he's like wiggling his tooth.
Yes.
It's like old school. That's so old school bullshit. You know
I
what
love
I'm
that
saying?
though. It's good selling.
I know. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good selling there. And then Taz came back, and he was about ready to choke him out, and then out comes Bam Bam Bigelow to make the save. The crowd was chanting Bam Bam at him, and he said he wanted some Taz, and then that was it. So this was Bam Bam's, I believe it was Bam Bam's first appearance with you guys, so it was pretty
I was
interesting.
thinking that. I was trying to think of that myself. I would have thought it would have been in the arena, but where Bam Bam's from, Asbury Park. What town were we in?
This was New York. You're in New York. You're in the Lost Battalion here.
Yeah, so either one for
Joey,
Bam Bam's
yeah,
good.
I'm pretty sure it was the first time because Joey was like, he's not supposed to be here.
Oh yeah, he's
like,
down. Fonzie's
and
going.
Fonzie's like, you're a
WWF
WWF wrestler. Yeah,
Right,
you're not
so
supposed to.
that
Yeah,
must be.
had to
Yeah.
have been.
I thought the angle, and I mean, obviously Taz and Bam Bam was a fantastic program. Those two guys had some great chemistry in the ring together. I mean, arguably maybe Taz's best work, I think, was with Bam Bam. But this was just a squash match.
And that
not
was
very
like
much.
part of the match, so like that kind of like enhanced, it being a squash match at the end of the day, like that angle and getting Bam Bam in the ring. So, I mean, it made it better than ultimately just the squash match.
Yeah, and at this point, Taz's character, he did not really have many competitive matches. This was part of his, run.
Because he couldn't work.
Well, and they were just portraying him as the suplex and
killer,
shit. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
He was
Why
like-
have him? The less you have him do, the better as he looks.
Right. He's doing almost like a UFC style gimmick where he's just killing guys, running through them. So why have a 10-minute match?
Right.
You're only going to go a couple. Next up on the show was Axel Rotten and El Puerto Ricano taking on the Headhunters with Damian Kane and Lady Alexandra. The best way I could describe the Headhunters is like two Abdullah the Butchers who could do moonsaults.
No, only one.
You've said this before. Only one could
of
do a
them does all
moonsault.
the work, and I watched it freaking this time to make sure I was great. The blacker of the two guys was the worker.
I
The
just
one,
don't.
the one
I
partner
couldn't
didn't
either.
do shit. If you watch it, the one partner does everything.
Yeah, this was. I mean, this wasn't really much of a match.
It's hilarious how they're shooting the headhunters into the ropes. I'm like, what's going on here?
I know. Del Canio's like 18 pounds and like shooting this big guy, like thinking I'm going to close on him, he's going to drop.
And just making him run across the ring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
There
That's how
wasn't.
you blow him up.
There wasn't really much in this. They got eventually. They did a little hot tag. I don't know if it was hot. It was more of a mild tag to Axel Rotten. And then the
They screwed that spot up a little bit.
he was firing up with some decent punches. He had some decent punches on the headhunters. They did a little splash spot in the corner, and then he tagged in El
The
Porter.
headhunters don't want to be putting anybody over right here.
Right, they're just trying to get their
Anything,
offense in.
anybody.
They did have some cool offense. The one hit like a nice like tiger driver
some combo
bomb.
moves and shit. Yeah.
Some cool combo moves. Obviously, the top rope stuff when the one missed an elbow drop off the top, and then after El Puerto Ricano came back in, it was just kind of a squash. He kicked out of a 0 count off a splash off the top rope,
Which I liked.
Yeah, because it's just putting over the headhunters. And then the finish of the match was a moonsault, and
It's impressive by that dude. He's fucking huge.
he
And
is gigantic. Like,
Very graceful moonsault.
it was a pretty
Dude, for being
moonsault.
5'6", 400.
And it wasn't just like he fell over. Like, he got up there pretty,
Yeah,
he
no.
got there pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's a total squash. I can't really rate this match, but I'll give it 1 star.
Which
for,
is kind of weird for how many ECW cards do you ever see starting out with freaking 2 squash matches?
I didn't picture this one really as a squash match.
Neither did I.
It was.
it was, but I mean there was very little offense for the other team. Like Axel, did he have an offensive move? I mean, he just had some
Yeah, he had a
punches.
couple.
They started off with him, and he got a little offense in, and then that's when they tagged in the other. I can't even pronounce his name.
Puerto Ricano.
Yeah, Puerto Ricano. He
Blue
came
badge.
in and then took all the heat for a while, and then there was the mild tag or
Yes.
the.
It wasn't a hot tag.
No,
I can
it
only
was
give it a mild.
Yeah, it was a mild tag, and then the other guy came back in. So I wouldn't say like it was a huge squash match, but I could see how you could portray it that way. But I mean, the moonsault finish is nice. I mean, I just didn't like it how Axel's just sitting on the apron watching him moonsault his guy, and then count 1, 2, 3. But
Yeah, you should have done something with Damian Kane there to like distract Axel or something.
yeah, right.
it was-
Especially in ECW, like you don't see a clean finish in a tag where the guy's just sitting on the apron, like I guess we lost this one.
Yo, the best part about that match was Damien's wife.
Lady Alexandra.
Wow.
Yeah, she was She was something. There was a couple babes on this show, man. ECW always had some good eye candy. This I'd give it 1 star just for a fat guy moonsault. Ollie, do you give it anything?
Yeah, I'll give the fat guy moonsault 1 star.
All right, Hack, do you give?
Yeah, go for 1.5.
Okay, 1.5. Ty, do you?
I give it a 3. I liked it.
Okay, Ty's giving it a 3. Up next on the show was the tag team title match between Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck, who were the champions, taking on the Eliminators. So Raven is out there because Cactus is with Raven at this point, and Mikey does not like Raven, and he keeps throwing the title down.
Yeah, what you did? I didn't remember what the backstory is to this.
So the backstory is Cactus is...
Did Cactus turn heel? That's why Mikey didn't like him anymore?
Yes, Cactus is a heel.
Which was
and he's-
brilliant
and
by
he's-
Cactus.
And he's with Raven at this point. And
How did he end up with Scotty?
Raven's kind of got him under his control, like with he's part of Raven's Nest.
That's why he's smacking him around.
Yes. And Cactus, at this point, it's known that he's going to WWF. He only has probably about 10 or so ECW matches after this, and that's why he's rocking the WWF and F shirt, which is just hilarious with the new generation on the back. And Cactus is in really good shape at this point. He's pretty leaned out here for his size, and you could tell he's getting in that shape for his big run in New York. And this and Mikey and him, I mean, this match was more about the story of him and Mikey's dissension than it was about the work itself. There were multiple parts of this match that were weird to me. Like, there was one point where Cactus and Mikey, Cactus was forcing his way to take into the match, and they did a tag that was not with one of the guys on the apron. I don't know if you guys remember that spot. Mikey was like in the ring and then tagged Cactus while they were both in the ring. One of them wasn't on the apron.
Oh no, I missed that.
It was just weird. They were doing a lot of like, I don't know, just dissension spots throughout the match.
Yeah, well, it wasn't supposed to be a cohesive unit.
Right.
And they got that across.
Yes. And it was more of just a story they were telling. I thought it was a little long for that story, kind of, but it was, just trying to put over the fact that Mikey and him are headed towards a match. That was Cactus's last match in ECW, was with Mikey. So it's building up to that. And I guess it's trying to put the Eliminators over a little bit, too. So I thought it was interesting. Mikey was working some headlocks. Cactus got on the mic, and I told Mikey to get out of there if he isn't going to be supportive, which I thought was kind of funny. Cactus just does these little things in his matches sometimes that just pop me, because he really knows how to manipulate a crowd, especially this crowd. Almost
any crowd.
Any
Dude's freaking brilliant.
Any crowd, but this ECW crowd, he really knew how to manipulate. There were some cool spots like Saturn. I know we talked about this last week. We were watching the Eliminators in that RVD and Sabu match that wasn't good, but Perry Saturn's kicks, man, fucking awesome. I always like his kicks.
Yeah, they're good. Tight work.
You got any notes on this one, Hack? Anything here? Ollie?
No.
Nothing really. I mean, it started out just kind of slow with everything going on. Then without the backstory, you're kind of just all right, well, let's get to the match and kind of see how this plays out, and maybe you could kind of figure the story out, which is what kind of happened. But it was a little bit boring to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, and part of the match too, when Cactus had the bottle and he breaks the bottle, and Mikey stops him from using the bottle, which was okay. I get it. You're the face, and you didn't want a heel to do something evil like that. But it just kind of was weird. It played weird to me.
Well, it wasn't a match. It was
a story.
Like a freaking a play.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's a good point, Hack. Yeah, it was more of a story than an actual match. The finish was Saturn grabbed the bottle, but then Mikey super kicked him, and then there was a diving Hurricane Rana on Saturn, and then Cactus came in and he got in Mikey's way, and then they hit a total elimination on Mikey for the finish and a change of the belts. It was just a lot going on.
And the finish was weak.
Yeah, it wasn't the best total elimination.
Running into Cactus, which was a little bit stupid, and Cactus watching the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably set up that, Mikey hitting Cactus, and it was then Mikey cost them the belt to get, it probably further, went on after that. But, I get what they were trying to accomplish, but...
Post-match, Cactus was standing up for Mikey, and then he pushed Raven down. And then he went after Mikey himself, and he gave him a double-arm DDT on the chair, which Raven was approving. And then the Eliminators came back in the ring for a promo, and then out came Francine, who looked fantastic. She did. She looked
Even
really...
in the neck brace?
Yes, even in the neck brace, Franny still pulled it off.
Some people are into that.
You said
She said that she wanted to manage the Eliminators despite the fact that they gave her the total elimination. But this was just a setup to have my team, the Pitbulls, come in, run in with some dog collars and fuck up the Eliminators. Franny was hanging Saturn. I like the way that she was pushing on him from the ropes. And then Cronus took a super bomb. And then we have a new program for the new champs right there. So overall, I thought that was a pretty good segment, and it sets up a direction for the future for the company there. So I enjoyed it for what it was. Overall, for a match for this, though, I don't know. I'm going to give it... it wasn't bad or anything, but it was just kind of there. I'm going to go 2 stars for it. Ollie? 1. Okay. Hack?
Dude, you got freaking a lot of talent in that ring. I can't give less than 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. Ty?
Yeah, I'll give it a 2. It was more about the story than it was the match. So I got to give them credit for, portraying the story and everything like that. But the match itself, it left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it was just kind of, I don't know. It was a little weird. Up next on the show was a promo from the Gangstas, and they said that despite everything that happened, they are the top contenders. And then New Jack broke the light, and then he was screaming about how sometimes he doesn't even like Mustafa. I thought it was a decent promo from the Gangstas.
No, I liked them busting the light at the end.
Yeah, that was a good cap promo.
Mustafa was definitely on some pencil shavings then.
He did. His eyes looked something. Yeah, I will say that. Up next on the show was Raven with Stevie Richards and Kimono Wanalea and Blue Meanie taking on Tommy Dreamer and Shane Douglas with Beulah McGillicuddy. Before the match, Stevie called Blue Meanie Stan, alluding to the Fabulous Ones, and they started to do the strut. Man, Meanie and Stevie, there was a lot of them on this show. Some of it wasn't the best comedy, but this right here really popped me of them doing the strut. Any memories of these guys?
Yeah, dude, Meanie just being hilarious, and it's like, God damn, Stevie was so much better than I appreciated him for when we were doing it. Just watching him work, dude, and dude, it's hard. A lot of and you got to understand, Stevie was a computer, like back in the day we would call a computer geek, like him and Nova, like those kind of geeks. You know what I mean? But Stevie had no problem like being Raven's lackey, wearing the short shorts, having the short T-shirt, you know what I mean, jumping up and acting all goofy and stuff like that. God damn, that kid was good.
Yeah, he completely bought into his role of being a stooge. But yet, when it came time to it, he could really, really work.
Yeah, he was a great worker.
He was a great worker, and
light as could be. Never touched him with anything.
I thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed this match too. You have Shane Douglas, and he's freshly back from the WWF himself at this point, and him teaming with Tommy here. It's kind of like a weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird to picture it, but
yeah, like Shane. Maybe the only time being a baby and
well, yeah, Shane's still a baby here.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. He's not the franchise asshole yet,
right? Which is interesting
because he was the company guy still. You know what I mean? And dude, 96. I would have thought for sure he was full blown heel by now.
Well, he was a heel before in ECW, but at this point he's coming back and he's not yet a heel again. So this is a little bit before he turns heel again. But I thought this match was really good. Like I enjoyed some things like Raven starting the match with Tommy, but then immediately tagging out is just like a great like heel shtick thing because it just builds up to the fact that Tommy still never pinned Raven, and Raven's this puss, and it just always is about the heat there, and it's maintaining the heat there, and it's something Raven's really smart with doing.
And it plays out in the match because like Stevie's catching the heat and going to tag, and Raven doesn't even offer his hand out. And then once Tommy's down and Raven's ready to puts his hand out for the tag like immediately. Just shit like that.
I loved Stevie throwing on the Razor Ramon T-shirt in this too because for those of you guys,
just anything to get a pop, it's great.
Well, for those of you guys who don't know out there, Shane Douglas had a lot of heat in WWF, especially with the Click and with Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels, and it was part of the reason why he didn't last very long in WWF. He didn't get along with some of those guys. So Stevie throwing the Razor Ramon shirt on was like an extra little if you know kind of dig, and of course the ECW audience out there knew. I mean,
you have to understand, Shane's not going to get along with most old school guys in the business because how he conducted his business coming to ECW. Dropping the NWA belt, always shitting on Flair. When even the wrestlers loved Flair, you know what I mean? I loved Flair, you know what I mean? Couldn't wait till his fucking match came on. Couldn't wait till TBS at 7:50 p.m. on a Saturday night. He'd come out and cut the greatest promo ever. You know what I mean? And shit. So Shane's going to have a problem anywhere he wants to go at this point.
Yeah, and
he really is.
He's got a lot of heat. He's a heat magnet. He's a heat magnet.
Fuck yeah.
And that's not always the best spot to be when you're in a new company.
Not in an indie.
No way. Yeah, when you're going to WWF though, I mean, having a lot of heat and a lot of baggage when you go to WWF, it probably wasn't the best thing for his career. But I mean, he was who he was, and it's obviously legend in his own right. This match had two different heat sections. The first heat section was Tommy.
Nice. I'm glad you picked that up.
Yeah, the first heat section was on Tommy, and he made the hot to Shane, and then the second one building up to Tommy. There was a lot of stuff in this match, though, and this went long.
You need two heat when it's like a 45-minute match.
How long was this?
19.
They said 19, but that was bull. That can't be 19. I'm sitting there, and after the match, they said 19 minutes. I'm like, no way. I don't know. It just felt like it was way longer than that.
I mean, when you got two heat sections, yeah, it's gonna be long. I'm looking through. There was one point when Stevie dumped Dreamer.
Oh my God, that's my first note.
With a-
Dreamer saves his own ass there.
Dreamer could have died.
Yeah, he was going to drop him right on his fat ass head.
I mean, my God.
Tommy got his elbow up.
Yeah.
He got his right elbow up to save his. I'm glad all you guys seen that.
Dude,
That's
Yeah,
my
he almost
first
killed.
note.
He almost broke his neck, like straight up
Like,
broke his neck.
Because he did the same move to what's his name?
Shane.
later.
Shane.
Shane, yeah.
And it was fine.
Well, yeah, because Dreamer's fat ass couldn't get up for it.
Oh, my God. I watched that and I cringed. I was like, oh, my
It's
God.
like, oh shit, I had to turn it off, watch it again, turn it off, and make my note.
Yeah,
Dreamer almost dies.
there was a lot of ball shots. And
There's another one in the match, too. Another huge fuck. What is it?
Cactus came out there at one point, got involved with Stevie, and then you come out, Hack. Oh, you're running. You just cane everybody,
It was actually the best part.
and you cane Molyneux.
Molyneux, yeah,
and
that
then
was great.
And I love that Molyneux had to ref your match later that night too.
No, it wasn't Molyneux.
It wasn't Molyneux.
No, it was the other dude.
I thought it was
I thought it was Molyneux.
Yeah, I'm
thought it
pretty
was
sure it was
Molyneux.
Molyneux.
because there was that other weird ref on the show with the hair and the swish pants.
Maybe it was.
I think it was Molyneux.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
just messing the name up right now. Man.
Okay, you caned everyone, and then Meanie
Is
took
this my first time out tonight?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, your first of many.
Yeah, I dominated the show. Just saying.
Meanie took
I got me over huge, me over huge, me over huge in freaking parentheses.
You
Just
were
saying.
over huge at this point. Dude, you seriously were. You
I
seriously
do
were.
not have.
He does on his notes. We'll put it up on Instagram.
I see it right here.
He puts himself over in bright stars around there too. Raven hit a pile driver. There was how many pile drivers were in this match?
18.
I mean, there was a lot of pile drivers.
Well, it's Tommy and Scotty.
Yeah.
and
That's
Shane,
Stevie.
and Shane.
And
Yeah,
Shane.
stealing each other's moves.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought about during the match.
Dreamer got the second hot tag, and he hits a power slam. And then Raven saved with a chair. Meanie tried to come in with the moonsault, but then they do the spot where they switch out the guy underneath.
Which took about 30 seconds too long.
It did take a while to
Well,
execute.
because what's his name goes to powder and he gets grabbed back in. Who did he switch with? Who was going to be on the ground?
Stevie. Yeah. He goes out to the
I think
ropes.
he went to throw him out, and then Stevie's like, "No, I got to be in here for the freaking
Yeah, yeah,
moonsault."
yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And then Shane hits like a weird kind of dive thing on Raven. And then this was the finish, which was a kind of convoluted, I thought, but sort of worked. Is Beulah comes in and helps tape the frying pan to Tommy's boot.
Dude, that was, and I'm like, "What is Tommy going to do with this?" But
doesn't-
I figured it was a ball spot.
I did too, but then he hits an enziguri for the finish.
I know, but he got his, thank God, freaking what's his name was down real low for it, or he would have hit him in the middle of the back with it.
They did a ton of stuff, and it kind of came together at the end, and they were just throwing a whole bunch of stuff together here. I'm going to go...
Right, hold on. Do you guys remember Raven plants Scotty freaking in the corner? Raven's going in to do this like jump on him, but Dreamer gets up. He's halfway up, and Raven lands on top of his head.
Yeah, so he
screw up.
he puts Tommy down with a power slam and like goes to the second rope, and I think Tommy's thinking he's just going up on the rope and like going like yeah, like, whatever. So Tommy starts getting up, and Raven does like a back splat, like a
I don't even
splash.
know what that thing's called, a mule fucking landing or whatever.
Where you're facing this way and you kick out and like you
Where you're
splash
facing
the
into
guy.
the corner and you kick your heels up and a guy runs under you. That spot, but it wasn't exactly
Yeah,
that spot. There was a guy-
Dreamer's like on all fours, like getting
And he's
up.
going to tag, and Scotty landed right on his freaking head.
I know. I was like, what? I was like, Jesus Christ.
This was kind of like a car crash match, but
I thought the finish. I gave the finish really good.
yeah, it was different, right? I
What
liked
was
it.
the finish again?
It was the enziguri with the frying pan
Oh, yeah,
taped to
to
his
the
boot.
boot.
I'm going to go 2.5 stars on this. Ollie?
I'm gonna go 2.
Hack?
Oh, that's 4 easy.
4? You got 4 because you run in, because of the finish?
No, all that. That's
Okay.
Great timing.
Okay. Ty?
There's a lot of timing in that match.
Yeah, I'll get.
You know, because they didn't do the building, killing time like that. There was like guys in the ring the whole freaking time.
It was work.
Right.
Yeah, I thought the first heat was a little bit like too long to tag in out with between Stevie and Scotty like a little bit. I'll give it 2.5. It was just long. A lot of nothing.
Yeah, that was Raven trying to get his fucking time in the ring.
It was like there was a bunch of shit, but it was a lot of nothing.
Right.
Like
Scotty's whole career. My whole career too.
If you could have given
That's how I know it.
smoke and mirrors.
yeah,
baby.
I just think they could have done what they wanted to accomplish in
12.
Yeah, or like 5 to 7
Yeah.
less minutes.
Yes, but this is the kind of match that they're going out there with ideas, not spot for spot for spot for spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they want TV and they had a 12-minute, they get that in. They could get all this shit in 8.
Well, yeah, and the run-ins, it's like also telling a story and keeping it going for like later in the show and shows to come.
Yeah. No, it's some booking stuff in there as well.
Well, yeah, it's Paulie booking himself for the next pay-per-view. Because a lot of those people at the pay-per-view might not be watching the TV or whatever's going on then. You know what I mean? He's booking pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Well, this is pre-pay-per-view. You guys weren't on pay-per-view.
Oh, we're not even on pay-per-view
You're not on
yet?
pay-per-view yet, but you're still booking to the next time that you're in New York or the next show in the arena. Like you're progressing the booking
Because
through the
and
show.
they
the
did-
angles that he changed in this freaking show.
Right,
Right.
a lot of this is for TV too. A lot of this stuff will be on hardcore
I was gonna
TVs.
say they kept mentioning
Oh,
like
that's those days. Okay.
they actually kept mentioning like Monday night, whatever, like watch this on whatever channel. Like they kept mentioning
Yeah.
TV more so than they normally
Yeah,
would.
our
I felt like
pay-per-views
in
were
in
next
ECW.
month to TV instead of like house shows, so you don't got to bring your guys, your cameras to house shows and shit like that. Yeah, that's right.
So you would do one big arena show or a New York show or something, and then you would do a lot of TV filmed for that, and then you would make sure for. What was that there? I had to do a little edit in there. Golf equipment commercial I don't know.
Was that on your phone?
I don't know if it was my phone or your phone, Ollie. I
What
don't
did
know.
you hear?
I heard like some-
I
right
wasn't
from
even
your.
on-
Was
I
it
wasn't-
mine?
I wasn't even on the video.
I'm on my phone on something, so I don't know what popped up there. We're going to do some editing there, Ty. Up next.
No, leave that in.
Leave it, okay.
It's all natural.
It's all natural.
2 seconds.
Up next on the show, it's easy to edit. That's my point. Up next on the show, this was maybe the reason you guys gotta watch this.
He's hilarious the way he backdoored you right there.
Extreme Lucha Libre, Juventud and Rey Mysterio Jr. This was so much fun, man. These two guys were just made to work each other, like in the world. I love how this starts off too, where first off, Rey gives him the middle finger. And then he doesn't want, and then he goes to shake his hand, and then Hoovy doesn't want to shake his hand, which I understand. This guy just flipped you off. I know why you wouldn't want to shake his hand, but this was just a blast, man. It was not. How long was this one, Ollie?
8 minutes.
Yeah, this was a short and sweet
Perfect.
match.
Just as long as it should have been.
I mean, the crowd was super hyped to see these guys too, and this is not like. I mean, I'm sure Ray probably maybe once has worked in front of some of these people. But other than that, this is the first time these people have ever seen Ray or Hoovy wrestle live. And they were just into them. Super, super hyped to see them. And all the spots they hit. I mean, going from arm drag to up at the top. All the
18 Hurricanranas.
18 Unicaranas, all the over, a dump over, flip over. All their sequences are so smooth, and you could tell these guys have worked together so many times before this. They are.
But I think how I got friends with Hoovy and Ray, and they were there before K-Dog came in, I'm pretty sure, right?
In ECW?
Yeah.
I think Conan was first.
Yeah, I want
And
to say
then
Conan.
helped
Conan was first and then helped those.
bring them in.
Yes, yeah, but somehow my brain's thinking about the opposite.
You versus Conan was before this.
Yes, that was in
Okay.
95.
Yeah, but when those guys came in, I was just like, I pulled them both there. I saw them going over the fucking match. I said, guys, not for nothing. This, or you need to take it down 1 or 2 clicks. You know what I mean? Because just think about the spots that they did right there. If that was a Mexican match, there would have been double that. Literally. That's how they worked in Mexico then. I'm like, guys, let it breathe for a minute.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then we ended up best friends, all of us, in WCW a couple years later.
How was Juventud as a hangman?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Between him and Billy Kidman, you walk in a bar and each of them are getting laid in the first 5 minutes there. not even knowing that they're wrestlers. They don't even look like it.
Right, they're not big guys or anything.
Yeah. Oh my God, Hoovy, Billy Kidman, and I'll give you ECW was Danny Doring and Chris Chetty.
Okay.
Oh, those two can walk in anywhere and pick up a girl in seconds.
Well, all he had to say was, "You see that guy over there drinking beer? I choked him out." If you're Chetty,
No, these are just those kind of guys. They go in any bar, anywhere, dude, and they're like good.
Okay, and Hoovy was known as quite a wild guy himself in WCW at certain
Well,
points.
yeah, and Hoovy had a little half-ass gay to him. That's what most people thought. Yeah. Well,
the juice is loose, as they'd say.
more than loose apparently.
Yeah, that's what everybody thought. I was with him. I never seen him with a guy. Dude, he loved women.
Okay, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Anybody's
But
question-
you know what it was like? That was the other like meatheads in the locker room that would say that. You know
Well,
what I'm
'cause
saying?
he's got a pretty
I'm
boy
like, dude,
look.
I'm rolling with the dude for like fucking all this summer, and all he does is fuck women. Like it's a joke, those two. Well, hey, you think Billy Kidman got what's her name?
Tori.
Yeah, geez, Tori freaking Wilson, Billy Kidman. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, okay. Anybody out there, if you're questioning Billy Kidman or Juventud Guerrero's sexuality, Hack has just...
No, I never said Billy Kidman.
No, Hoovy.
But yeah,
Hoovy.
but it was just weird the way that people thought like that.
This match, though...
And I'm like, dude, you guys are so fucking wrong.
This match, though, what a fantastic match. Ray did an awesome somersault plancha, and then Hoovy had a chair involved, and then Hoovy was showing off with a springboard spin kick, which I thought was really cool. Hoovy hit like a Liger bomb. There was the press onto the table, which I thought was pretty cool as well. And then this was just like a really, really, really fun match. There was the Splash Mountain, and then Ray countered that into a Hurricane Rana, and then both guys kind of fell weird. And then the finish is just that was the finish actually.
And the Hurricane Rana from the apron to the floor.
Yes.
You know, that a lot of those things, like I know, Ali, you're saying, like, you know,
Die on that.
Hurricane Rana, like, central, but, like, dude, 1996, nobody was, like, really, really doing it, Hurricane Rana. Like, these guys, you know, are capable of doing it, you know, in the States, so.
Oh, dude, and on the Hurricane Rana, I think Hootie landed on his feet. Whoever was doing a karate, you can land on your feet very easily doing that spot.
Well, it's just a front flip, you know. So, yeah, it's just front flip. Excuse
Yeah, I thought that this was just fantastic. This is like years above its time. This is 1996.
I know, but it's not. It's so weird. It's 96, but you got to understand, Pride in 96 is rocking and rolling right now with MMA.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they're freaks. So that one pro wrestler who beat the hell out of all the Pride dudes or whatever, I forget. I'll never know his name because he was never that over huge as a wrestler. But I was just watching the
Were you
documentary.
watching The Dark Side of the Cage last night?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. And that's what made me remember it. So there was people doing way greater shit. I mean, we're just in our infancy, you know what I mean? But Vince is doing plumbers and fucking Repo Man, and these guys are doing MMA in like the lead companies over in Japan. These matches with Ray and that was every single match down in Mexico throughout the whole damn card, you know what I mean? We were the ones that were way behind in everything.
I get what you're saying, Hack, is like, yes, this is before its time here in the States.
Yes.
In the
That's
world.
it.
In the world. Down in Mexico, no. In Japan, no.
Dude, they were doing 6-mans in Mexico that you would just be like, like when you're tough. I couldn't imagine. Joey Styles couldn't call a 6-man match in Mexico. You just can't do it.
Yeah, it's just so much.
Wow.
This was absolutely fantastic, though. I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. Ollie?
I'm giving it 4.
4? Hack?
Nah, it's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay. Ty?
That's a 5-star match in 1996, you know? Like,
Yeah?
that short, sweet, to the point, never
And
going
the
up.
funny
Like,
thing is, it's like there's guys. You could get 2 of these fucking scrubs in AEW to do the same match and won't get near as over. People wouldn't see that match just because they have no personality and they have no nothing.
Well, I think now it's a lot different than 1996, where good matches alone are not going to be able to get you over. We see so much good and great wrestling now that the actual wrestling is not as important as it used to be.
That's why that's the difference between AEW and WWE.
Well,
It really is.
It's presentation and star power.
Smoke and mirror.
Yes, and I think the wrestling. There's no doubt in my mind that AEW has superior wrestling bell to bell than WWE does at the moment. But presentation, star power, you can't argue that WWE has that in spades. So it's what do you want to accomplish ultimately as your company, and do you want to present a bunch of 4-star matches, okay, or do you want to present some
build
and some box office? Yeah. If we're talking AEW, though, I mean, I think right now they're starting to work on some of their build stuff, too. So,
they just did last night. I'm pretty sure. Was I watching them last night?
Was it MJF and Hangman tease you're talking about?
Yeah. But they did a good thing with that one chick that's coming back or whatever. They did a nice little montage with her, the blonde lady.
Harley Cameron?
Not
Tony Storm?
Well, no, it was a girl. Oh, it was her original lackey.
Yeah, Mariah May.
Okay, yeah, she did something good. And the other girl that they brought out last night, too, they brought her out last week. She was wearing all white. She wears this big helmet thing and everything. That girl's going to be cute.
The big chick. I forget her name.
But she's going to be good.
You talking about Megan Bate?
They're working her with fucking... Who?
Yeah.
Megan Bate?
Yeah, I forget.
It's Joey Janela's girl. That's his girlfriend.
Okay, yeah. So that girl's a star, and freaking... And that they just did a little package that reminded me, like, all right, that's a little bit closer to what WWE would do, but it was a black and whitish thing.
Okay. Overall, though, for this match, just absolutely tremendous. And if you guys want to watch the show, I highly suggest this match being the one that you watch from it. It's fantastic stuff. Besides your match in the main event.
Yeah, go watch Mr. Hughes.
Up next was the promo. Joey had, this is just like a huge promo segment here. Joey was interviewing Taz and Fonzie, and they said that 911 won't be coming out here anymore because Taz is going to finish him. And then out comes Rey Mysterio Jr. to stick up for his boy 911. They did team a little bit in ECW, which was interesting. And then he says that he's not afraid of Taz. And then Fonzie's mouthing off at him, and he got knocked on his ass. And then Rey and Taz are going at it, and Taz got Hurricane Rana right on his skull, which was cool. I know you probably enjoyed that hack. And then Taz...
Yeah, because you can't get your fucking feet over your head. Dude, that's his own bump.
Yeah.
That's your own bump. You land on your head, it's your own freaking fault.
Well, he did there. And then he hit him with a Tazplex, and he went to chokeslam him, and then Ray Hurricane Rana out of that. And then
another one.
JT Smith came out and was putting the boots to Ray. So he was beating up on Ray. And then this was so weird, and I would never have pictured this to have ever happened. I could not remember watching this ever before. Hack Myers came out there, and so the crowd could get their shahs in. I know your boy Hack that you love. And then Joey called for their damage control to come out, and there's Hack Myers and some medical assistants making sure that Rey Mysterio is okay. I'm sure that's what Rey Mysterio wanted, was for Hack Myers to be helping
Ray
him.
didn't care. Paul probably gave him an extra $500 for it. I mean, because think about it, all you're trying to do is, the kids know he's like this little kid baby face, and Paul gets the dichotomy of him sticking up for the giant or whatever, you know what I mean? But it just gives more steam on your heels, just that segment.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the first promos that Ray ever cut in his life. Like, he's not known for being a promo guy, but I mean, that was probably the first time he ever grabbed the mic and cut a promo in the States, I would guess.
I was actually surprised when he grabbed the mic.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not known for promos.
No, that might have been his whole freak. You know what? That might have been actually his very first. Literally.
Yeah, seriously.
That's Paul letting him see the star. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, go out there and talk.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna go over in this match, and then you're gonna go stick up for this fucking giant, and then you're gonna do a promo after you get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How does Bo even think of this crap?
I have no idea, man.
That whole segment is like him in his head. He probably came up with it in like 30 seconds.
But it worked kind of for everybody. It's believable.
Yeah, it made multiple points.
Yeah, it made multiple points. And speaking of multiple points, Joey's in the ring, and then this is a long segment here of just Joey being in the ring, getting interrupted by different people. Out comes Woman. So Woman at this point is...
I don't remember any of this.
You don't? Okay. So she had already left you guys and went to WCW. She was managing Ric Flair at this point, I believe. So she's...
Oh, I didn't realize... Dude, I would have said I know it's Kevin left.
Yes.
But then, I guess this is like 2 months later.
Kevin's been gone for a while, too, because this is 96. He was already in WCW for a good bit of time, I think.
No. She was in there with Benoit screaming her ass off all the chance she got.
She was with Benoit. Yeah.
I don't remember her with Flair. Could she have been with Benoit immediately coming right out of ECW?
I think she went originally with Flair, and then later she was Benoit's valet.
Yeah, but I don't remember her, like, I just thought she was with us, and then I don't remember, like, working somewhere, working with her husband, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She's pushing WCW Nitro, which I thought was hilarious, and she's trying to get Joey to join, which I thought was really funny, and he was basically saying he had no interest and he wanted nothing to do with Monday nights, and then out you come, and man, you're smoking a cig, and I love the way that you're looking into the ring from the outside. You're kind of letting the moment play a little bit,
With a
and
sick mullet.
with the sickest mullet ever. It's Ollie's shaking his
Ref
head.
had a better moment.
He did have a
That
great
one
mullet.
ref had-
Yeah, the ref who did the Hoovy and Ray match, and the other one
the
later
Jerry
too.
curl mullet.
He did have a straight up Jerry curl mullet.
And Perry had the horse pony mullet.
Yeah.
Saturn.
Yeah,
There was a bunch of
which
mullets going
Francine
around
was
there.
cutting. She cut some of that off too.
Oh, they freaking could have milked that for so much more.
Yeah, that was kind of. I actually forgot to mention that part of it because there was so much going on with that angle.
Oh, frick, that's right.
I did forget that. But woman was trying to convince you to go to WCW, and this was great because you basically told her no.
Yeah, she was a little bit off. I didn't know it then, but I know it watching it now, which is, I told you, I don't remember this, but she was like, she wasn't like that, like the woman where she was with Tommy Dreamer, Kiss My Feet, like, you know what I mean?
Like the temptress.
Yeah,
like,
she could have pulled Joey in more. She's like, oh, what are you doing, Joey? You know what I'm saying? When she should have been, oh, Joey, we could do this.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Monday night.
Okay,
Yeah.
a little bit more, but you weren't having it. And then out comes Scorpio, and you say you've been looking for him all night. You don't know where he's been, and he said he's been.
And we could cut a promo to save his freaking life.
He said he's been in the back. He said he's been in the back of the limo with her all night, and then he basically says, "I'm carrying her out of here. I'm going to take your ass back to Atlanta." And then he throws her in the limo, which is outside, and there's a bunch of snow on the ground, and the limo's like struggling to pull out there when they had that
Peel
shot.
tires to get out there.
Yeah. It definitely didn't have all-wheel drive. Poor limo there with a woman thrown in the back of it. It was an
And
interesting.
she was dead when Scorpio was taking her out. She's been taken out before in something other angle that we've done, and she's all like flailing.
Yeah, I
and
thought
everything.
she should have been doing more now.
The more of get her head up, get her hair out of her
Or,
face,
like,
get
hitting
those-
them and, like, flailing, whatever, yeah.
but she was doing nothing that night.
It was kind of just It
I
was,
love you, Nancy.
I love you, Nancy. Up next was Stevie Richards and Blue Meanie are out there, and you're still out there too. And they're delivering a message from Raven to you, saying that you have an opportunity for you to back out of the title shot, and then the fans are chanting, "Sandman's going to kill you," and you say you've never backed down from a fight in your life.
I said it the same thing I did the one before.
The one before, you mean the
That's what I said earlier in the night.
Yeah, I mean that's
Wait,
No,
this is probably what you're
first
talking about. Because this is
This
the
is-
second time you're coming out.
did I came meeting once already yet?
No.
Or is this the first time?
You came to-
when
you
he
came
goes
to-
for the super
Yeah,
kick.
you
You came him in the match. You came him in the match.
Oh, all right, okay.
So now the fans are chanting, "Sandman's going to kill you," and then
Joey's one-liners during this whole thing are like so funny. Like,
yeah,
he's like, "Come on, Stevie, we only got an hour." Like all this other stuff, and then he's asking him if he's 18. He's like, "Well, I was before this whole thing started."
Yeah, that was a great
That
line.
was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a
like-
great line.
Yeah.
'Cause this is like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so of showtime. Is just this segment of Joey being in the ring with different people as this like evolves.
All right, so where did this whole segment start at?
It started with Joey.
Dreamers match?
No, it started with the post match from the Ray and Hoovy match.
Okay,
and this was
all right.
Joey in the ring with Taz and Bill Alfonso. So now it's Stevie, you, and Meanie are in the ring, and then Raven comes out and he says, "Richards, you're a moron. You're a moron," and he's not happy with him. And they say he's been mistreating his own flunkies. Like, I gave you a flunky and you're mistreating your flunky.
And Meanie's
that's great.
And Meanie's dead the whole time.
Meanie's dead
which
because
is
you just
great.
caned him, too. Meanie is laid out here. He tried to give you a super kick. You caned him. He's laid out here.
Oh, that's when Stevie goes, "I'll have to give you a super kick." And Meanie goes, "Let me.
Let me."
I catch it. but-
Yes. You catch it, cane him, and then Meanie's out and you leave. Now Raven called you back out here. And he said something, I have no idea what he said, but he was bleeped out. Do you remember anything?
No, Missy came out.
No, not yet. Missy's not out yet. Missy
I have no idea.
Missy is not out yet at this point. Raven is then Stevie. This is the point where he pulls out the thing from his pants out of Meanie, and he's saying he's suing for sexual
Oh
harassment.
yeah, what did he pull out of the? Oh, it was
The
funny.
lawsuit.
Oh, that it was funny him just going through the pockets.
Yes.
Instead of like going to one pocket and it being right there, that's Stevie just being smart as shit.
Yeah. So there's the finally.
Joey's going, "I don't know about putting my hand in that pocket."
Yeah.
So he says he's suing Missy Hyatt for sexual harassment for what went on the last show, and then out comes Missy, and then she says they're talking about a restraining order from Stevie, and then Raven offers her a spot in his entourage, and says it's not like you haven't been there before, and then
I've been there before, but look at me and look at you.
And then Missy brought up the fact that Tommy Dreamer knocked up his girlfriend Beulah, which is part of the Raven and Tommy Dreamer lore. And then this brings you out again.
Is that why you could only give her one pill?
Yeah.
One pill? Okay.
Yeah, he wanted it. Stevie
I
messed.
thought that was Mikey for some reason. I misheard something. I'm like, "Mikey, come on, I want to lay you pregnant."
No,
that's what I had in my head. That's how stupid.
Stevie messed
I'm
up.
straight here watching this thing.
Stevie messed up.
Total straight.
Stevie messed up giving Beulah her birth control, and then Tommy knocked her up behind Raven's back. Is the whole story there? So that was when there was the big reveal when Tommy Dreamer said, "I'm hardcore. I'll take them both."
All right.
You remember that?
Yeah,
I
she
was
said,
wondering
"I'm
where
preg-"
it was going from here.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm pregnant," and then Raven thought it was Stevie who
Yeah.
hit him. And she's
When
like,
they
"Nothing."
did that, I swear I didn't know. I'm watching the fucking monitor. They did it. I was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever freaking seen." Wow, dude, the goosebumps. That was so cool. Nobody in that fucking audience thought that that's the way that was going.
Yeah.
Everybody's picking one or the other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That was great shit.
was
That was such great shit.
It was some really good misdirection there. And then you came out, you caned Raven in the back of the head, and Missy was pretty happy with that. She lit the cigarette for you, and then she opened up your beer and poured it down your mouth there. This was a long segment. There was a whole lot that went on there. But you set up some stuff for the future, including you and Raven, and now you got Missy Hyatt managing you. So, any memories of this segment at all, Hacker?
I don't remember this whole night. I
usually the
thought
case.
I got Missy where I just came to the building and Paul said, "All right, she's going to be with you because I lost a woman," you know what I mean? I don't remember any of this, and then I just thought that me and Missy showed up because the first time we showed up together was above the front door, not the front door, but the very corner of Swanson and Ridner. That used to be a door right there, and there was a balcony above it. And
Yeah,
so
that
I-
used to be the front door, but yeah.
Yes, but I thought that was the very first time me and Missy were on camera together. That's how
Okay.
stupid I am.
Well, it's just the way you remember it. Up next to the show was JT Smith taking on Bubba Ray Dudley. JT Smith's in his Italian stallion phase here. He was actually like the original FBI guy, which is just absolutely hilarious. He's doing all the Italian things, and then Joey had a good line saying he was from where did he say he was from? Bensonhurst or something like that.
Yeah, he was. Didn't he say he was like from?
A fat lawyer.
What? What?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't he say
Oh,
he
there
was
was
from?
no. There was a line.
There was a spot.
There was a spot, but I think that was a joke about Paul Heyman's dad.
It was.
Yes, I forget who
You
made
idiots.
it. No, you're right, Hack. I believe it
Well,
might have
yeah,
been.
that's not the question he asked.
No, it might have been
idiot.
Steve.
No, but you're still idiots.
It might have been Stevie who said that back in the previous segment. There was a lot to recap there. I just a ton.
Yeah, it might have been Steve.
This was JT Smith taking on Bubba Ray Dudley. Dudley's got the whole Dudley clan with him, which at this point is Dances with Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, and Big Dick, who's still with the knee injury there. He's on the one crutch. And they're putting over Big Dick's biceps. That's kind of like the biggest thing Joey was putting over in this match. I don't know. There was not really much here. This is all about Bubba's dancing at the end.
And he does the same move over and over.
What, the Cabbage Patch?
He's only got one move.
What? Yeah,
right.
what?
And that'll throw in a fucking one of these DX.
Coming from the guy who only does the Cabbage Patch.
Yeah. You're, yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
move.
you do got the.
Yeah, one
You do have
move.
the one. Yeah, you do. You got two moves. It's better than the one move. This match was just. I mean, what was this?
Not even
Was
really a match. It's a segment, pretty much.
It was a Bubba Bomb, and then JT Smith then tried giving him $100, and he threw it away. And then Bubba did a dance back in the ring, which was really funny. I popped for the dance. Bubba.
No, okay, all right, a couple things about this. It's still unbeknownst to me how he's Big Dick Dudley, and Joey puts him over like he's freaking Andre size, but it's so obvious that Bubba's bigger than him.
I think he was just putting over.
Bubba's taller than him, is twice as thick as him. Dick's got his arms.
He's putting over his arms. That was the number one thing that he was putting over was the size of his pythons.
Yes. And then the other thing is nobody knows what the hell's going on. All right, they end up getting outside of the ring, and like Bubba's, they're right past the point where you get to the ring. So they're about 6 feet away from the ring down the tunnel, and it's like Bubba's doing his thing, like looking at him, you know what I mean? Because they know that they want him to dance and shit like that. And Big Dick goes, "Arr," and he points back to the locker room. Next thing you know, 2 seconds later, Bubba's on his way to the ring.
Yeah. I mean, look, it wasn't really much of a match. I can't give it a star rating. It was fun, though. Up next on the show, another match I don't know if I can give a star rating to.
Wow, there's a lot.
Mr. Hughes and Sabu.
Dude, I got the most.
Mr. Hughes is a non-selling fuck.
Mr.
I got
Hughes.
the most notes out of any match right here.
Okay, so you're going to have to carry us on this one because
right.
Mr.
My
Hughes.
only note: non-selling fuck.
Mr. Hughes did not carry Sabu very well in this match.
No, Sabu carried him.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but Hughes was right there.
You like this.
Dude, because I think I had to work the dude once. All right, probably never worked him once, but I'm gonna say I think I had to work him. You gotta understand. No,
He caught himself.
no, but coming from them, Hughes doesn't want to sell. I mean, first of all, the guy's so big. He's not like a seller like a freaking Tommy Rich. Then you get the sympathy from the babies in the audience.
Just act
you know
like you
what I
just
mean?
got hit through a table. Just act like you just went through a table, though.
Oh, yeah,
Don't turn over and get up.
but he's yeah.
Pull the Michael Myers. Be like, yeah.
It's Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, but first of all, the spot wasn't that. All right, well, are you talking about the second spot on the table when Sabu laid him down after
Yeah,
the table
and
was
actually-
broke?
Yeah.
But his ass broke that table. Because you see him, he's going to his right, and then he double clutches and goes to his left to swing his feet to the right, so his ass could land right on Hughes' right shoulder. And then he didn't even touch Hughes with that move, just so you know. But yes, he's supposed to sell. But Hughes is still thinking he could get back into the WWE right here. You know what I mean? But he was already there and freaking had a drug problem or something like that. You know what I mean? So he doesn't want to sell too much. Just like at the end of 3, he kicks out literally at 3 on the match.
Right there. That's to Ollie's point is that you don't even sell the finish in this for Sabu. Like
That's used back in them day, dude. All right, here we go. Sabu over the top rope, and Hughes caught him great.
onto the outside in the chairs in the
that
front,
very
in the
first
front
spot
row.
right there. Hughes great landing on something. I don't know, dude. Oh, how about the shoulder pinch? Hughes went to the shoulder pinch.
You like
to
that?
kill a couple. No, I don't like it, but I love it. And it's the fact that Hughes in the ECW arena went to a shoulder pinch and then booed the shit out of him.
It wasn't. The crowd was not liking this. You could tell they weren't with it.
Well, he kept working that shoulder because it was taped. Like Sabu had it, so like at least he didn't just do the shoulder. Like he kept doing moves. Like he did like the one like shoulder breaker. He kept like working the shoulder, doing like some other stuff. So
He's not a bad worker. I just
No, dude, you gotta. It's
Gotta
just
sell.
Well, but he ain't, and you have to understand too. All right, in his mind, if Sabu's bigger, then yeah, he could sell more. That's it. That's just that old school mentality, dude.
So it's basically for him. He's trying to preserve his character, his mystique as being a big man. But to me, it's like Sabu's somebody you can always sell for because he's so
Not for
crazy.
Mr. Hughes coming in from WWE,
Okay,
WWF.
he was in WCW as well at different points. So it's like,
but he always had to. He couldn't keep his mouth off the crack pipe, and that's how he ended up here. But what he should have figured out was, hey, maybe I'll keep a job here longer if I do sell for these guys.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some.
But who knows when you're a crackhead? All right, I'm going to tell you another one. No, and this is how I know
when you
this for
smoke crack, you don't even know when you're supposed to sell.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
selling is all off when you're on
this is
crack.
a straight shoot. We're in the Sandman van. Somehow, I think it was the week after.
I think we heard this story.
No, I don't know if we have.
We'll find
out.
Yeah.
He tried to steal the freaking
we've heard this
furniture from the 5 thing, but then we were going somewhere else the next week, and Hughes was in the front seat of the Sandman van, and Todd was in between us, and he told us that he goes, as we were talking about pay something, he goes, "Oh no, I'll go out and get the bucket." And Todd's like, "The bucket?" He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I get in my gimmick and I go stand with that bucket, freaking a pail, like a tin pail, and I'll stand out there in his gimmick and freaking hold out the pail by the airport at Baltimore to make money."
You told
you
us
did
that
tell
too.
us
He was
that.
he's a
Yeah.
panhandler
Right when
as
he
well.
got fired from WWE, he's out there with a bucket.
Well, he's a worker.
Me and
I mean,
Todd were
it's
like,
not-
"Oh my God, did he just really tell us that?"
And his glasses to make it seem
And
like
his
he's
wrestling
blind.
gimmick too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the big, like, dark shaded glasses, like, please, sir.
Bitch. Yeah, they're like, "Here, please go to the next guy."
Yeah.
oh God,
I couldn't believe he told us that.
Mr. Hughes. Overall for the match, I don't know. 1 star for this. I thought this match sucked.
I'll
Ollie.
give it 2 stars because it's like it's not bad workers and whatever. I just wish Hughes would have sold a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Would have
guess,
sold the table spot at least.
to me, it gets like 3.5. Easy.
Dude.
I can't believe you like this.
Easy.
Todd.
Now, I have to respect, because you guys, I look at it under a different microscope than you guys look
Yes,
at
you
it.
do. Yes, you
know
do.
what I mean?
You look at it, the workers' shoes and
Dude.
stuff, and are you keeping guys safe out there?
And, yeah, and dude, and I couldn't believe how fast Hughes was getting up. Oh, he took the bump over the top rope. He took the bump through the second rope, dude. He would always land on his feet, though.
Yeah.
Which is smart as a big
Always
man.
land on his feet. Every time we got thrown out, when they went over the top rope the one time, boom, landed on his feet.
Dude, and that one bump that Sabu tried to break the table on the first time, dude nailed his back like
Dude, killed him.
Dude, it was a
Yeah.
Darby Allin bump. That's
Yes.
exactly what
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
like,
Yes,
it was
it
like
was.
it was like
That's what it looked like.
those Japan tables,
Yeah, I was
and like
thinking the same thing.
and he nailed it and was like doom and like landed on his head. I was like, oh man, but yeah, I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2. It was just it's not a great pairing.
No.
Like
Oh, absolutely. The dichotomy of the match is everything to me, and that's why I liked it so much. That's part of the reason.
Because it's an odd pairing.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
and
like Brody against Mikey Whipwreck.
and you would
You know what I'm
think-
saying?
Yeah, kind of.
And you would think it would work because Sabu can just be a crash dummy around a big guy. You know what?
That's why I love working.
Right, like Sabu can just be a crash dummy around a big guy, but it wasn't as good as it probably was sought out to be originally.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't thought out to be anything. It was thought out to be Sabu. Paul wanted Sabu to get a win over
A WWF guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Up next on the show, this was U-Hack. You and Scorpio taking on the Gangsters. And New Jack just has a ton of shit in the ring. And there's so much shit in this ring. I have never... I mean, well, you see Gangsters matches, there's a ton of shit in the ring.
But it was
all
a
the
lot
time,
of trash.
It was so much trash in the ring, too. Like cans and different things in there. And the crowd's throwing stuff in there to start as well. This match, when you're working the Gangsters... And I know you've said this before, is you want to keep things in the ring to show the carnage, right? You don't have a problem with working in a ring with a cluttered ring. But how's a guy like Scorpio feel about working in an element like this?
Well, if you notice, Hack didn't really ever get in the ring. Like, he was outside, and he pretty much stayed outside.
Well, there was no reason for me to.
Right.
Because
You were married
the
with
way
Mustafa.
we did the matchup, yes,
you let
exactly.
Scorp do the ring shit, and you stay on the outside. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and you pretty much get outside, and then you get nailed with a Nintendo.
Do the leash, the top rope leap with the Nintendo.
That's right.
Yeah.
You killed,
Yeah.
you killed Jack with it.
I was
Yeah.
hoping you guys like that because you better believe I got that fucking highlight.
I'll put it over. I'll put it over.
Yeah, well, we also didn't mention that you almost tripped when you tried leaping the time before. Yeah, and you caught yourself.
I had that too.
I know I did. Damn it.
I wish you fell.
I did. I was hoping they were. Once you brought up that, I'm like, all right, they're not going to remember that.
It's like, oh, I hope they don't notice that camera.
Yeah, you almost ate shit the last time you tried.
Shades of WrestleMania weekend right there.
I know, dude. Hey, it's that close out there. That was worth a 1.0 fucking Shaz right there. That's fine.
This is just you guys are slipping.
Well, wait. All right. So I told you I don't remember this night.
Right.
Don't remember.
Probably after that shot
And
of the
dude,
chair
I'm
by New
sitting there
Jack.
and I'm like, well, I've already been out 3 times. I can't be in because I'm wondering who's in the last match. Because when I stop and I'm like, and you see the segments like on the bottom on the bar, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know. And it's going through my head.
We were doing process of elimination.
Yes.
Like, who
And I'm
else
like,
could it
well,
possibly
who the
be?
fuck is the main event then? And then I see the Gangsters come out. You never see the Gangsters out first. And the Gangsters
good
are out
point.
first, and then I'm even more convinced it's not me.
Right. But that's a good point. They never did come out because of the song, and because the song just kept playing.
It never came out first. So then I still wasn't convinced it was me until I heard that music, and I'm like, wait, that's me? And then, so at some point, I guess me and Scorp had lost the tag belts to who lost them that night? To the Saturday.
It was Mikey
to me
and-
Scorp
Mikey and
lose them
Cactus.
to
Mikey
me and
and
Scorp
Cactus.
lose them to Mikey and Cactus?
Yeah, remember Scorp lost it in a one-on-one
Yeah.
match?
To Mike.
We
Shit,
watched
we
that on the
watched
previous
that.
show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was what was screwing with me because the tags are out there, and I'm not realizing that me and him are freaking doing it together.
Yeah, and he's the TV champ at this point still.
Yeah.
But you're not the world champ at
And
this point. Raven is.
And I got a question, Hack. Do you think you coming out second is Paul, like, kind of putting you over as, like, just the previous world champion and also going to face Raven for the champ? Like, would that be a thing, like you coming out second instead of the Gangsters
I
coming
can
out?
see it, but I can't say I can see him thinking that.
Well, the whole time I'm watching this, Ty, I'm glad you brought that up too, because you got the match with Raven coming up after this show, and I'm thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, well, Hack's got to get the win here. Hack's got to get the win here. And you didn't pick up the win in this match, which I kind of thought
I
was...
can't even remember what happened right now.
No,
Let's look at my notes.
Scorp hit sprayed Mustafa with like the hairspray
Oh,
or whatever,
that's
and then
right. Yeah,
and that was
hairspray.
that was
whatever.
it. That was the finish.
like you didn't get the pin, as in since you're going for the title
Dude,
next thing, you would think
yeah,
that you would get
well,
the pin.
that- okay, all right. Now
so
it's hit me.
so
No, I
maybe
don't
you
want
probably
the pin.
squashed that. Yeah,
No, I don't want the pin.
right,
So
I
Scorp...
ain't winning shit. Nope.
dude. I don't
And
even
he's
know
got
how
the
many
title.
times. I
So
don't even know.
let his title win that match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to win ever. If I don't have the strap, I don't win.
Dude, I don't even know how many times I've actually ever seen you pin somebody.
I don't.
Like literally,
Unless I have the belt or I'm
Like-
winning the belt.
like ever.
I lose
I
every
honestly-
match.
I can't even remember. I don't even know what the last. match-wise, do you pin someone?
I am easily the most over person ever in the history of this business.
With the worst
least
winning
amount of,
percentage.
yes, with the worst winning percentage. And my winning percentage is like fucking 15.
That's
Only
amazing.
when I had the belt, dude, Kevin Sullivan, I told you.
And still
Said-
won the belt more than anybody in ECW.
He said, dude, you can get over more than the guy that just freaking beat you. I'm like, okay, I don't have to
It's
win
so
ever.
true. You didn't have to, but I'm thinking like traditional booking, right? If you're doing traditional booking, the guy going for the title shot would probably pick up a win
get
in a
the
tag
pin,
match
right.
in the main event, to
Definitely.
give him a little steam or something. But you didn't need it.
Oh, well, and I get my steam back at the end because Scorp knows how to play the characters.
Yeah.
Cigarette, the beer, hey, go ahead, Sandman, dance. You know what I'm saying?
And that was it. You were dancing, you and
I got
Squirt.
over, nobody remembered what the finish was.
Nobody remembered. It didn't matter. It was some hairspray shit.
It's fucking insane.
That's how you lose every night of the week and get over more than the people that beat you, dude. They won't remember that after you get up.
Well, it was
If
certainly.
you sell it right.
It was a fun gangsters brawl. I know we've said before they're kind of hard matches to give ratings to, but this one was a fun one. I'm going to go 2.5 stars for it. Ollie, what are you giving this one?
I'll go 3 because they were laying it in.
He's looking at me. Hack is ready to cane me for giving him 2.5 stars. What do you give yourself
No,
here?
dude, that's a fucking 13 and a half, maybe 14.
And with the hack top rope Nintendo.
Just saying.
The top rope Nintendo. Fine. You know what? The top rope Nintendo and your
I get another point.
yeah, and your dance at the end. You breaking it down. I'll go up to 3 stars. You shamed me into it. Yeah.
That's smoking mirrors, baby.
Yeah. Ty, what do you give it, man?
I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Yeah, this was a fun show. Obviously, if you want to watch some ECW and go through an interesting time
Some
period in
early
1996.
ECW too. It's like you don't. The 2 fat guys. What are their names?
The Head Shrinkers.
Yeah,
The Headhunters.
The
They're
Head
not
Hunters.
around for
Not
long.
the Head Shrinkers. Head Shrinkers were another tag team.
Yeah, they're not around
That's an
for
actual
long.
name of a tag team.
Yeah, the Head Shrinkers, man. Absolutely.
Dude, it was the Samoans.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was Rikishi.
Yeah, it was Fatu and Samu, I think, were the
I
Head
don't know,
Shrinkers.
1 out of the 50. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
any
that
of those
was
guys'
a
names.
brain
No,
fart
but
right there.
the show and all, like with the work and everything, might not be like the best work that you're looking for. But if you want to watch like the first couple shows before this one and maybe the first couple after, the storylines and the angles that are in this show are good and intricate, and you might appreciate the whole thing more if you watch the first couple shows before and after.
That's a great point, Ty. Like, we're picking up randomly, just watch some of these like big events, but most people
Yeah, I
watch
wonder
this-
who makes that decision.
What a dick this guy is.
No, but this one,
No, this episode's like essential to watch if you're interested in like a Sandman and Raven feud or Tommy and Raven feud.
yeah, this one more than a lot of the other shows that we watch were very like storyline based and stuff like that. So it would benefit you more if you're interested to watch the first couple before and after.
Yeah, there was a lot of angles on this
And
show,
if you're
too.
a big Rey Mysterio fan, definitely go out and check out his early matches in ECW.
Absolutely. Next week on the show,
Sorry, Tosh, 1 second. That just reminded me of something. Did they say that when Ray beat Hoovy that Ray was the featherweight champ? And I didn't.
Yeah.
it was the WWA welterweight or something title.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait.
Welterweight or featherweight?
I didn't know the belt though. If they said MML, MMCL,
It was like it was like the
whatever.
welterweight or whatever, and I was like, wait a second. I'm like, ECW didn't have like a welterweight belt. I didn't know if you had caught
Yeah, it
that
was,
or had any info.
I believe it was
And
a.
dude, what was it? And if you think about it, if that was a belt, then why didn't he have it with him?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't
Did they
travel
not
with
let him
it.
out of the country with it?
I don't know. Maybe yeah. Maybe
Well, they gave
were.
it to him after the match.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have it around his waist in the beginning?
I
No.
don't remember him having it around his waist,
Oh,
but
they
they
might
gave
have
it to
picked
him.
it up after that.
Maybe-
Because didn't they
what-
pick it up, them two in the ring already?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't
remember
remember.
the
But I remember him getting handed to it after. That's why I was like,
Oh,
what
okay.
fucking belt is that? And they were like the welterweight or featherweight, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was the WWA World Welterweight Championship.
Okay, yeah. And I was like, wait, ECW didn't have that belt. I was wondering what it
Google
was.
that. Google who's had the WWA World
I'm looking it up right
Welterweight
now. It's a. It looks like it's a Mexican championship, and
Was Mikey Whipwreck on it?
No, he's never won this belt, Mikey Whipwreck.
The least Mexican dude ever.
Yeah, I don't know why you picked Mikey Whipwreck.
He could pull it off. Hey, you
could've.
see JT pull off an Italian.
Mikey
Just throw a hood on him. Just throw a hood on Mikey.
He could have absolutely done it, but no, I don't think he ever won this
No, Mikey
championship.
Yeah, and you guys got to understand too. Another thing is, Todd Gordon is the sole reason why JT has a job still in this. Because Paulie didn't believe in me. Paulie didn't believe in JT. You know, Paulie didn't believe in the Pitbulls. But things change.
Things change.
But that's why he was still here, was because he was Todd's boy. He was probably working at Todd's store at this point in '96.
I was going to say,
Because
didn't
he
he
worked
work at
for him
Todd's
for
store?
like 5 years. I think
Interesting.
one guy stole a ring from him, though, the very first day on his job.
Stole a ring from JT
Yeah,
at Todd's
well,
store?
and they're behind the glass and everything, and JT was letting him see like 5 different things that he didn't know that he only got 4 of them back. Something like that.
Oh, he
and
pulled-
something happens to every fucking like first timer, you know.
They saw a mark right there. They played
Some-
they played a move on him.
Yeah, and you give them one piece at a time. Give me that one back, one piece at a time.
Okay, interesting. Next week on the show, we are watching
Words to live by.
AEW
One piece at a time.
Grand Slam from Australia. I know we're all hyped to see Mariah May and Tony Storm. Should be an interesting.
No, is that going to be the main with Osprey and freaking Omega? I want to see that match. That should be really, really, really tight.
Osprey, Omega, Takeshita, and Fletcher could be match of the year. I mean that's going to be an incredible match.
Easily.
Mariah May and Tony to me should close the show. I don't know what's going to be the main event, but you don't think so?
No, I'm just saying, closing the show with a women's match.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think it's their biggest story and the biggest heat that they got, right now.
I think it definitely closes.
Well,
I
the tag
think it
match
should.
that we just mentioned, that's a hot shot in the last less than a month.
No, they've been building up to it. They've been building up to it for a while.
I think
Yes, they have.
I think you should open with Osprey and
Omega.
Kenny, and then you close with Mariah and Tony Storm.
Well, you definitely don't want to.
Well, who's number 2 then?
It's Osprey and Kenny versus Fletcher and
Who's the second match?
I'm not really
That's
sure of
the
the
main
whole.
spot then.
Well, that's what you don't want to put Mariah and May and Tony in the main event after the off.
Oh, no, absolutely.
So they got to be. If you're putting Mariah May and Tony at last, that 4 Osprey and Omega
Google the card.
can't be. Well, it won't be in order of.
Yeah, I know, but
you're just saying,
this is
like-
a little thing like I want to do. What are they going to open up with? And then if you open up with that tag match with Osprey and freaking Omega, who the hell is number 2?
I don't know the card, so I can't.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find the complete card here.
Yeah, because if Mariah May and Tony, you cannot put them after that tag match.
Oh, MJF against what's his name?
He's not. That's
The
not
guy
on the card.
from TNA?
That's not on the card. And
Oh, that's
he's not
not-
the guy from TNA. You mess that up every
No,
time.
Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, Jeff Jarrett, you're correct. Okay,
Yeah,
there
it's
you go.
TNA.
Okay, I'm
Here
sorry.
we go.
I got it up too. You got Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron.
That could be number 2 if you start out with the tag.
That could be. You have Adam Copeland and Jay White taking on Moxley and Claudio. That can't be 2.
You're
That's
not
your
going
world
to go
champ.
2 tags in a row.
No.
Okada and Buddy Matthews
I'm doing Okada and Buddy Matthews.
at
After.
2.
Yep.
I think that could be 1. Okada and Buddy Matthews.
I do Okada and Buddy Matthews.
I think. MJF could be number 1.
He's not on the card. I don't see him having a match on the card.
With freaking what's his name? Jarrett.
Well, they're doing a program, but it's not on this card. So I don't know.
I would open with Osprey in that tag match, then go Okada, Buddy Matthews, and then you go Mercedes Moné, Harley Cameron, then Adam Copeland and Jay White, and the other tag match, and then Mariah May and Tony Storm.
I think that's probably the best card layout. I think I'm with
Yeah.
Yali. It's tough. I mean, you're somebody's got to go second, and I think Buddy and Okada makes the most sense to go second.
And there's no other opener than that one, right?
That's all the matches they have listed at this moment.
No, I'm
so.
just saying, but like, other than the tag match, like that tag match with Osprey and them is probably the best opener.
Probably, I would say that's probably
Right.
the best opener. I mean, it's the hottest way to open the show, but we'll see. It's supposed to be, I'm expecting good things from that show. It should be a really hot crowd in Australia, so that's what we're covering next week on the show. As always, send us in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Please leave us a name and a town. Up first is Eric from Percasey, PA. Percasey, PA. Do you know where that is, Heck?
Spell it?
I don't know if you're saying it right.
Spell it?
Percasey?
Percasey,
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say, yeah.
Good day, Brian, Ali, Ty, and the president of the Taz fan club. I have a question on the opinion you have regarding the current offering of wrestling on TV. I don't have much free time to dedicate to watching shows that are broadcast, but through YouTube TV, I started recording AEW and watching it weekly as I can. AEW gives me the same vibe that TNA had 10 to 15 years ago. It's got a good indie style to it. I like the characters, and it just has a better feel than the big glitz and glamour of the WWF juggernaut. What's the feeling you have regarding AEW and what they're doing? I mean, personally, I think the last, 5 or 6 shows from them have been really, really good. I think they have more of a direction. My biggest issue with AEW would be the top program with the Death Riders. That's not really working that much for me. But I think what they're doing with the women's stories and things, I really like a lot of the stuff. What do you guys think overall?
Watch NXT.
NXT is not it for me.
Dude, the women in NXT is a breath of fresh air, dude. Those girls can work.
Yeah, you got a lot of really good workers.
They got a lot of girls that can work their ass off. I don't know, to me, because I've watched it a couple times, and the girls are, dude, way better than the girls are now, to me.
Okay.
Just
What
the
was the
work.
What was it again?
Just overall, what are your thoughts on, AEW at the moment?
I mean, I'm definitely happy that they're there, and it's an alternative to WWE because you get to see all this talent and everything like that. But there's definitely some things they can work on to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that they're different from WWE, but there's definitely some things they could take from WWE to enhance their product.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Tosh, more recently in the last month or so that they've kind of got on track, I think. And before that, probably the last 6 months of it was a little off the rails storyline wise and everything.
Yeah, it was the Young Bucks and freaking and what's his name? Yeah, it was stale and old.
Right, and now they're starting to pick up storylines and everything like that. I like majority of the time I really like the work that they do, and majority of the time I enjoy their matches more than WWE, but WWE's picked their game up with the storylines and everything like that. So, but all in all, I enjoy AEW and for what it is.
Yep. Up next is John from Scranton, PA. Writes in, "What's up, Sandfolk?
That's great.
Leapin' Lanny Poffo was the dumbest gimmick of the mid '80s. At a Scranton."
Wasn't that the one you're like, oh, who the hell?
There was a couple where I'm like,
Right. And besides the fact that it was Randy's brother.
At a CYC house show in Scranton, there was a Battle Royal main event that was tagged as "Come As You Are," which for most meant come in jeans. Not Lanny. He came to the ring in a full suit of armor. His gimmick was it seemed to be a graduate, college, high school. He was smart but lost. Second favorite was the Moon Dogs. Were they human dogs? Were they some inbred dogs raised by? Were they some inbred dudes raised by dogs? Those were his gimmicks. Congrats on the Super Bowl win. Thank you, John.
Those are good. Was the Moondogs Junkyard Dog and somebody else?
Nah, the Moon Dogs were a Memphis tag team, and they were any members of them, Hack?
The greatest ever. So when I go down, I'm 6 months in the business. From the time I had my first match, June 9th in Bonner. And then next thing you know, I'm working on top with Lawler. 6 months later in the Mid-South Coliseum. But the original Moon Dogs were in the territory too. There was Spot and Rex. The very first two. There was two others afterwards. But I'm with the original two. And they live right near me. I'm living at the Congress in the hotel in Nashville. So the Grand Ole Opry's right there. They lived right by the Grand Ole Opry. They would go pick me. They would pick me up and then go take me to their. Oh no, I would just drive to there because I had my van with me, and I would go to the Boulevard. And the Boulevard was what the Moon Dogs freaking street was at the end of this dirt road. The Boulevard, and they had their there was 2 trailers back there and shit. But I got along so good with those guys that I was there for about 2-3 months. And the very last night because you stayed in Nashville, Tennessee, but you had to do TV Saturday mornings in Memphis, which is 200 miles away. So they rented where they knew Waylon Jennings, like a guy that's like a country music guy.
absolutely.
He's a country music.
He loved the Moondogs. All I had to pay for was gas, and Waylon Jennings gave the Moondogs the bus to drive me down to Memphis for the TV that Saturday.
You drove down in Waylon Jennings' bus that the Moondogs
and
got?
Waylon Jennings tour bus.
What the heck?
Dude, it's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's just crazy. But they were just such cool guys, and you guys know me. I'm like, they're my boys. Like as soon as I meet them, it's like we knew it like right away the first time we met.
You getting along with the Moondogs? I'm not shocked by that, but that's an awesome story right there.
Larry's first name was Larry was the one the most popular Moondog. That's what I call him, Larry.
Okay. Larry, great question there.
Dude. Oh, so they also took me to all right. Dude, this is freaking crazy. So after we go down to Friday night we go down, Saturday morning we're doing Memphis morning TV. So then after that we take this long ride. We end up in Kentucky or something, and we're one of Larry's relatives. So we get out, first time I ever fired anything. But we walk in, dude, we're literally in like this big ass tree house. It's a house in a tree house on like the side of a cliff. We go into the freaking kitchen, which is right off the driveway, and there's a big barrel of water that the rainwater goes to, and that's the water that they use for their kitchen. You know what I mean? And there was a stove in the middle of the room, and on top of the stove there was a light fire underneath on the stove, but they were playing cards. They were playing some kind of cards, and I swear to God, Larry's like, "Oh, Ma," or something. What are you cooking? Buzzard stew. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is buzzard stew? So one of the guys that lives there takes me outside onto the deck, and he hands me a freaking shotgun, and he goes, wherever you shoot right here, when you kill it, it's going to be buzzard stew.
They're really living that gimmick, man.
Yeah.
The Moondogs.
I can't believe I haven't told that story in forever. And it was so
I can't imagine the stories that are in your brain.
That's the ones I don't even remember.
Oh my God! The Moondogs.
Dude, it was so crazy being in the Moondogs' relatives' place. Oh my God, he's got to be dead by now.
Did you have any of the buzzard stew? That's
of course.
How was the buzzard stew?
I loved it.
Okay.
Greatest buzzard stew
And
you
if
ever
you
had?
didn't like it, you weren't telling them anyway.
Yeah, no, you can't tell the Moondogs.
You ain't tell them I'm a Moondog. You don't like a buzzard stew. Swear to God, buzzard stew. And it was anything if you shot a squirrel, it was buzzard stew. Muskrat, if you shot Punxsutawney Phil, buzzard stew.
You've had a mushroom burger with Eric
on
Bischoff
scratching.
and a buzzard
I can't
stew
believe I
with the
almost
Moondogs.
forgot that. What kicked me into that story?
The Moondogs.
The
That's
Moondogs.
what. Yeah, there you go. Johnny from San Antonio writes in.
Hey!
Yo, congrats, fellas. Your boys went and pulled a mass transit on KC last night in NOLA. Even though your birds are a division rival.
That's good.
Even though your birds are a division rival, I put the rivalry aside for the night. When Mahomes loses, America wins. I watched a recent episode of ECW on TNN from December 99 in Richmond. Hack makes his way through the crowd. There's a part where Hack is feeding a beer to a fan, and this kid tries to take the beer out of Hack's hand, somehow tries to help pour the beer for Hack. Either way, Hack gets pissed and throws the can in the kid's face. I had to rewind that part a couple times. It legit popped me how pissed off Hack was. My question this week is, out of all the crowd entrances, what was some of the craziest shit a fan has ever done or tried to do to Hack?
Well, I've been a baby face, but there's guys like that would go down to Puerto Rico back in the day and stuff like that. People would carry like rocks in their hands and pouches of rocks, like just throw it at the heels on the way to the stadium. You know what I'm saying? But I was basically a baby face the whole time, so I've never really had.
I mean, but is there anything?
Well, the one guy during my entrance in
the one night stand,
yeah,
where he's beating himself.
Yeah, and I can't be a heel and fucking grab him and like throw him over the guardrail then. So I just had to let it happen. You know what I'm saying? I could have grabbed the guy around the fucking neck because I had a guy behind me that had me by my belt, Scott. So they didn't push me over the freaking rail. There was a guy there that nobody even knew the couple times that I did.
I look for him every time and I still
Yeah,
can't
you've
see
told us this before, and I still can't believe that. But okay, great question there. Josh from Braintree, Massachusetts writes in, "Yo, sandbaggers, it's Josh from Braintree again. Congrats on knocking the Chiefs' dick in the dirt. As a New Englander, I don't want to see them win either. Hack, I saw your boy Bubba, who has me blocked on Twitter because he's a straight puss, the other day complaining about having a hard rock band at the Super Bowl instead of rappers. If Metallica played, how long do you think it would take you to get down to the field today? I'm willing to bet you could do it at least and beat Charlotte Flair." If you had to make it out for Metallica playing the Super Bowl.
Okay, dude, it's the only song that I like. I don't like any other song that those.
No, he's saying he's asking you how long it would take you to get to the ring in the Super Bowl stadium.
Nah, dude, I wouldn't even went out there. I'd be in the back with Charlotte while they were playing.
Like a day and a half.
Yeah.
He also said, "Hey, the Rumble wasn't all that bad. At least we got to see the last show. Jade on her couch. At least we got to see
I
last
missed
show.
Jade on her couch.
Jade on her couch had to land a pump kick. Take it easy, boys. Enjoy your victory lap, and don't let Tosh on any of those light poles before Hack checks the tensile strength."
Tensile strength.
Tensile.
Not the textile string, or is that you're just
He
reading?
said tensile, not textile.
TNSILL.
Yeah. Better not eat some lasagna either.
And park on Depot Street.
Yeah. Go to Home Depot.
Heart attack, Rick from Mechanicsburg, PA writes in.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
What's up, my fellow hackamaniacs? Rick here again. We all know where Nia Jax got that toilet seat from. That was you in this show, Hack. You had the toilet seat with Mustafa. Man, was it just me, or does Rey Mysterio look taller than Taz without the tattoos, or what? Yeah, I think he might have been taller than Taz. Rick's been pretty funny the last couple of weeks when he writes his
He's
Ray
on fire right now.
Can wear some lifters too.
Am I right or am I right? Big Dick's 10-inch lifters are extremely noticeable in this pay-per-view. While Stevie's getting heckled by a guy in the audience about being everybody's man.
Oh, I heard that. That was funny.
Then Raven sitting in the corner roasting Meanie for being a fat fuck. That was so Raven. Now on to Hack. Hack doesn't want to come with woman anymore. He wants to come with Francine now forever. Tosh,
Oh, Franny.
show the boys my post on Instagram showing how much Franny wants Hack as well. Obviously, I had a blast with this show. I give it a Mustafa pencil shavings blunt out of a Joey Styles boxer shrinking dilemma.
Heart attack, Rick. Bringing the
Mustafa pencil shaving blood.
There you go.
bringing the heat the last couple of times.
That's Bobby the braid line.
Pretty high rating, if you ask me.
Pretty high rating there, Rick. Thank you. Brian Mills from Calgary, Alberta, Canada writes in, "What's up, Tosh and his lovely assistants? First off, congratulations."
Tasha is this is you, isn't
I
it?
would swear to God,
This
it's
is
not me.
you, Tasha, this lovely
This is what the guy
assistant.
writes. I can send you the email.
Oh God,
First off, congrats on an incredible Super Bowl win.
Thank you, Brian.
Seeing the Chiefs finally
Brian,
get
give me your .com, dude. I want to know if it's really
your
you.
.com.
It is Brian Tosh. Yeah.
It's not, I swear to God, it's not me.
That's the good one,
First
Ty.
off,
you can't even hide yourself.
I would
Dude,
take
that's
favor-
like you trying to hide behind a tree.
He's hiding in plain sight, is what he's trying to do. Yeah.
This would be the worst.
I'll say it's Brian. They'll never know. They'll never
This
think
would be
it's
the worst kayfabe. This would be the worst kayfabe thing
Hiding in
ever.
plain sight. It's hilarious.
Congratulations on an incredible Super
How
Bowl
do you
win.
stay on this right now?
I'm trying. Seeing the Chiefs finally get the beatdown they've deserved all season was glorious. fuck the Chiefs, and fuck Kevin from Dayton, Ohio. Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin's got some real heat out there, man. This guy's got some heat. My question this week is for everyone, as always. If you were starting a wrestling promotion today and you had to pick 4 current wrestlers to be the backbone of the company without any restrictions, who would you choose and why?
That sounds like a whole show.
That's a tough one.
What is it?
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
It's a great freak. That's why it sounds like a show.
If you were starting a wrestling company
down the city.
If you were starting a wrestling company, 4 people, who would you pick today?
Like to start the company.
To start.
That's a show. That's a show.
Yeah, that's a show.
Yeah, that's a really
we've
good
got a lot
question.
And I think you could even expand it to like 4 guys and 4
of women.
women.
Yeah.
But I could start it with a woman.
Oh, who you going with?
Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, Tony. I mean,
Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm
That's
that
a-
up.
that's a great question.
No,
Yeah.
dude, that's definitely a show.
Yeah, that's a great question, Brian. Thanks again. Really enjoyed the last few podcasts, especially the 92 Rumble review. Hope you guys review some more old pay-per-views.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, we
Keep
will.
kicking ass. Jesse from Aspen writes in.
Aspen, huh?
Yeah, this is a new write-in here.
nice.
Hey, Hack in the Sandlot. Jesse from Aspen, Colorado here. I've been listening since I found out about the podcast from you guys at WrestleCon last year in Philly.
My man.
While I live in Colorado now, I grew up in Connecticut. I graduated high school in '99 and was an ECW fanatic. I went to a couple shows in Connecticut and Massachusetts and was actually at the show where New Jack and Vic Grimes had the bad fall off the
Oh,
scaffolding.
that was in Danbury, wasn't it?
Yeah, off the
think so, yeah.
scaffolding. Crazy, scary shit. Sandman is my absolute all-time favorite wrestler.
As should be.
It's been great listening to the show, and I love it.
Thanks, man.
This is my first email into the show, but I had to take a minute to congratulate you guys on the Eagles Super Bowl win. Without getting into unnecessary details, I had some life events that made me put listening to the show on hold, but I'm back on track now and getting caught up.
Yes!
Glad to hear that, brother.
I'm
Back on track, baby.
I'm at-
I've hit some.
Go ahead, say it. Just don't shut it down. This guy's got a great.
I've hit some potholes in my life.
There you go. I'm at October and November and listening to you all shit over the Eagles, question all the coaching decisions and the team's toughness. Now knowing you won the Super Bowl is fucking hilarious. Thanks for taking down the Chiefs. While I have you, a suggestion. Instead of giving matches a star rating, what if you gave it a grade? Give each match an A, B, C, D, or F, or lower if it's warranted. Love you guys. Love the pod. Hope to see you at WrestleCon in Vegas.
Okay, A equals 1, B equals
No, A
2.
equals 5.
It's you. Who cares? Let him convert it in his own head.
Yeah, we have our systems. We do stars or shahs. Obviously,
Or bangers.
or bangers. And there was also the for the bushwhackers. There was the head licks that you debuted.
with a couple face licks,
Face licks. So we have a lot of different rating systems here on the show, but we'll continue to give our ratings for matches when we see them. Thanks for catching up on the show, and appreciate your support, man. We'll look to catch you in Vegas. Last question of the day here. Drummy from Bryan Street Tavern writes in, Yo, Sandy, happy Thong Thursday. Just saw you at Burger King getting in your car. Are you a Whopper or Stacker guy? Tabs all good now. Let me know when you can grab a beer.
What's the question?
You a Whopper guy?
He saw you at
You
the
burn-
Burger
Back
King.
in the day, I used to eat 2 double Whoppers for lunch, and now what's the day? What's
Or
the-
a stacker?
stacker?
That's like a
What the
newer.
frick's a
That's
stacker?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
exactly sure. That's like a newer menu
I'm
item,
neither.
though.
You're neither. Were you a chicken fry guy? What are you going with at BK?
No,
Okay.
never. If I
Yeah,
would go with a bacon burger.
Okay,
cheese.
bacon burger. Oh, there you go, Drummy. And we're going to have to get some beers with you, bud. I mean, to celebrate this Eagles Super Bowl victory.
Hell yeah.
Next week on the show, we are covering AEW Grand Slam from Australia. But before we go, Hack, the cane of the week or the toast of the week?
The cane of the week is for me being unlucky enough to be out of town for the Green Bay game, was it? Or the LA game, the snow game?
Yeah, the
Whatever,
LA game.
I didn't make that. And now, because of the snow coming into Philly on Tuesday and Wednesday, they pushed it all the way to Valentine's Day, the parade. And I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Tennessee. I'm ready to kill myself. And obviously, you got to put over the birds.
There you have it.
EAGLES Eagles.
Go Birds forever.
Peace.
World champs.
Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been